just excellent. I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I can't. I don't remember the last movie where I saw it one time and didn't want to at least want to see it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Christopher Nolan movies, and I mean we've talked about to death here. He makes movies that you need to watch a few times.
Yeah.
And then you get little bits. And you see the whole thing.
Yeah,
I know why I'm like, cupping the nuts here. But I'm just like,
you're cradling his balls.
I don't know. I'm doing that, but
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was in a Christopher Nolan mood last night. I watched. When I got home, I was like, I had nothing to do. I was late night. I didn't want to watch anything. I watched Interstellar.
God, I gotta watch it.
Yeah,
I know it's on Netflix. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's man, that's a good movie. That's a good movie.
It's good. I got into Haunting of Bly Manor last night.
Which one?
Haunting of Bly Manor.
Oh, how
the
was
sequel
that?
to the Haunting Hill House.
Yep.
Same cast essentially. Really good though. So far, I'm in like 3 episodes now, 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Or I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same gimmick though, where it's like it's very American Horror Story where they use the same cast, they put them in different roles.
Yeah.
But they also have this deal where all the ghosts or the spirits and shit are all there.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're watching it, if you pay attention, it'll be like a pair of hands under a piano bench, or there'll be a guy in a hallway. The camera pans up and there's something behind the stairs, and you're like, "Did I see something?" You rewind back, and yeah, for sure you did. I would prefer that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I like it when they when there's not a known Easter egg. Like the first time I saw Haunting of Hill House, every now and then you think you see something, but you didn't know that they were there deliberately. You thought maybe it was just for what you saw.
Yeah.
And then when you kind of read a few more articles, you realize that they're doing it on purpose, and every scene's got a ghost hidden somewhere. So it becomes like a little bit gimmicky where you're looking for that more than you're enjoying the show. So that kind of bothers me a bit, but overall it's a good presentation.
Oh, okay.
It's really well done.
Yeah. I was thinking about watching. Actually, depending on how late we go, I was gonna watch. I was gonna watch the original trilogy again, Star Wars. But I said, I was like,
I mean,
like New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
I know.
I was gonna watch it again, but I'll probably save that for the next weekend.
Even this week with the George Lucas talking about I never thought that Han Solo should be a bad guy. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Hasn't that story been told to death?
Yeah, I know. He did it again this week. Where he talked about. He was talking. I think a book came out about like 1999, 2005, and all the stuff that happened during the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Now the studio told him if you make a movie about a kid, like baby Darth, that nobody's gonna really want to see that. So you kind of have to stick to tell him as a teenager, tell these stories as a teenager.
Yeah.
When you hear about Machete Order, you're like, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where you skip number 1, you go right to New Hope, Empire, 2, 3, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense.
Yeah. It's really we put the word machete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Machete.
Yeah.
Machete.
Yeah. Yeah. Way better than any Star Wars movie.
Not any Star Wars movie.
Most Star Wars movies.
It's better than the entire sequel trilogy.
It's better than the sequel trilogy, and I think it's better. I think it's better than any of the original movies.
You mean the original?
Oh, the prequel trilogy.
The prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
The first
I'd rather sit through
1, 2, 3.
Machete. I'd rather sit through Machete than any of those 3 movies.
My problem with that comment is that even though I shit talk a lot about number 1, 2, and 3, and more number 3 or 7, 8, and 9, which I haven't even seen yet. There's always something to go back to and see and be like, was that a conscious choice? Did he do
Actually, you know what?
There's always something there.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say this about the prequel trilogy is that it got successfully better.
Yeah, as time went on,
they
aged remarkably well.
because the first one, what's the first one called?
The Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace. Okay, that
great title.
Okay, terrible movie. And then Clone Wars was so much better than that movie.
Oh, you mean in their time they were better?
In their time, yeah.
Okay,
in their time, yeah. And then Revenge of the Sith. I like that because they took they killed children in it. They took
pretty dark.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. And
Anakin, the younglings.
Yeah,
he's like, doesn't matter.
Yeah, and so they got better.
Yeah.
I haven't watched them since.
Really?
I haven't watched them since.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I have probably watched all of them to death.
Yeah,
a lot of times.
Yeah, I didn't, and then I was close to watching
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
because I was using my friends. I was using no, I was using my
Well, you had the Disney
Plus.
Plus for a little bit.
Yeah, and then I was like, I can't watch it.
I can't do it.
Can't do it.
I can't.
Like, I don't
feel
care.
like such a
I don't care how
whore.
good it looks or how good it sounds. I'm like, I can't watch
It'll
this.
cheapen me.
Yeah,
It's true though.
it's gonna
Like,
make me hate Star Wars again.
I think so.
Even more. So
the only reason that I would watch any of those, and the only reason I do go back to them at all, is because I appreciate. It's the same reason I don't entirely hate, or I don't hate at all, Jason Momoa's Conan, because I mean he was doing the best he could with the shit they gave him.
exactly. Yeah,
And who wouldn't want to play Conan? He's built to play Conan.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought his Conan was actually really good. The movie sucked. So when I watch the sequel trilogy and I see like Boyega and Daisy Ridley and Oscar Isaac doing the best they can with what they have, even the solo there, Ben Solo, even those guys, they're having a good time doing what they're doing.
yeah.
I can't hate them.
No, that's the job of a lifetime.
Yeah, right.
But like you're sitting on set and you're just you're on the most expensive sets in the world and
Yeah.
you're just pretending to be someone you're not.
Pretending to be somebody you're not in a universe that can't possibly exist.
Yeah.
You're make believe.
Yeah.
You're getting paid big money to do it.
Yeah, that's what kind of makes me sad about it. I was thinking about it. I was watching the trailer for Dune in theaters yesterday,
Oh God.
and it looks awesome.
I'm super jacked.
Yeah, I
for
can't
this
wait.
movie.
Yeah, so that it looks great. Like, but it's a two-parter.
Is it a two-parter?
Yeah.
No way. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's a two-parter. So first part is this movie that's coming out.
Yeah. The story of Paul.
Yeah, and but the thing
This
is that
stupid name.
we have this pandemic out right now, right?
Yeah.
So if this movie, when it's released, doesn't make as much money as they need it to be,
Yeah.
are they not gonna make the sequel?
I think they will. I would imagine they're probably already making the sequel.
I don't know if they are. That's the thing I don't know.
I would imagine it's all one and done.
Yeah.
Because now I kind of feel like weirdly the pandemic, if the movie doesn't do well, they'll probably just go ahead and be like, well, I mean, pandemic movie. I mean, we made what we made. People who would rather just sit at home without that audience and watch it, they're watching it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think there's an excuse. There's like a built-in excuse for if it doesn't do well, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, we'll have to see how like when how many movie theaters open up in
Summer 2021.
2021.
Well, when is it coming out?
In the next year.
But is it summer of next year or fall of next year?
That's a good
I don't
question.
know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah, the
We'll see how this
Yeah.
Moderna
because I'm not sure how that movie's gonna play in China.
Dune.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a movie about spices.
yeah, exactly. So,
Spice.
yeah, so yeah, but in the U.S., like, and the thing is, like, I'm not people will watch it. A lot of people don't know what Dune is.
Well, I mean, they kind of remember it as a wilder, like wacky concept movie that came out after Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then if they watch The Fifth Element, in their head they're like, yeah, it's kind of like that giant fish head in a tank, and he's like some sort of a governor or a senator or something.
Exactly.
Like they like a lot of sand.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
ride sandworms. I remember Picard's in it. Again, that's all they know, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Whereas this one is like, I know. I mean, dude's name is Paul, and Batista teaches him how to fight or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Again, it looks incredible.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, like,
the original Dune looked really good.
Yeah, because that was that was they crammed out all that history and that lore from those books and like into one movie. Which is hard to do.
I mean, I was never one of the book guys. I never got into the books at all. But I mean, as a kid and even now, I have very fond memories of Dune.
Yeah.
To me, it sits right alongside like Blade Runner and Alien. Like it's in that world of movies.
Oh, really?
I put it in that because I mean, I have fond memories of the weirdness of it.
Yeah, I love the movie. But then I found out like how many books there were to the story, and I was like,
It's a complete
I know
universe.
I'm missing out on a lot of garbage.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. There's so much out there. I mean, I think the reason I like Masters of the Universe so much is probably got a lot to do with Dune because like it looked so similar. Like,
Yeah,
it
that's
was,
true, yeah.
The world was like it could have been Dune.
Yeah. I think the reason why I loved Master of the Universe so much is that it fleshed out the He-Man story, like the entire the entire
Didn't
universe.
flesh out anything.
No.
It rewrote a whole new chapter.
So
totally different.
because it was so out there. I was like, so I loved it. I was
It
like,
fleshed out the Dark Side versus Orion story.
yeah,
You've heard about all
Yep.
that. Now, literally, it was essentially written when he couldn't get to do what he wanted to do. he basically wrote New Gods, and it worked out.
Yeah.
Like everybody kind of fits in place.
Because it kind of is New Gods.
Oh, it 100% is. Like you should Wikipedia that.
Yeah.
Like there are direct parallels to everybody. Like Big Barda, Mother. What was her name? The big lady who takes care of the mother boxes.
Oh,
she's like the main, like Darkseid's lady assassin buddy. That's Evil Lyn. Darkseid is essentially Skeletor. He-Man is Orion. Like it goes hand in hand with DC's New Gods.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think what's his name? The guy who directed it, off the top of my head, I can't remember, but he talked to Jack Kirby or somebody about it, like a long time ago. Like after they made it, they're like, I do like. Was it deliberate to parallel all that? And he's like, Darkseid. I think the comment he made is like, Skeletor makes a dandy Darkseid.
Yeah.
He's like, that's pretty accurate.
Well, okay. Quick question. Who would win in a fight, Darkseid or Thanos, with the Infinity Gauntlet?
Well, they're kind of the same person. I think that Infinity Gauntlet it's a Thanos win. I mean, he's gonna rewrite reality.
I actually did. They actually did an epic battle between the two.
I'm sure they did.
Two nerds did.
Yeah, we're two nerds doing it now.
Yeah, exactly. You know who came out on top?
Probably Darkseid.
Darkseid, and it was like not even close.
Really?
That
was it the Omega? The Omega.
I think it was a bunch of things. Yeah, because I think he put him in a reality where where Thanos did not even exist. Or whatever.
Darkseid put him in a reality.
Darkseid put him in a reality. We should watch the fight. Yeah, the fight is hilarious.
Well, we'll give it a looky though. I like that stuff. That's what you do, right? Remember when Wizard Magazine would do the verses?
The verses, yeah.
I mean, I used to love that stuff.
Yeah,
because you've never agreed with it. I mean, you always disagree with it
because your guy always loses.
Because your guy always loses, right? But when you're reading it, you're like, "Oh, this is fun stuff that we do. So why wouldn't like a magazine or hire nerds?"
It's cool because it's good to see like people who nerd out on these things.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like because we used to do that when we were kids, like in junior high. Like Dennis would always have these cards of all the Marvel heroes and the villains, all of them, right?
The power rankings,
all that stuff. So we'd be like, we just take out the random ones and be like, hey, like who could beat this? Like, who could take out Hyperion? And, and then we'd be like, okay, maybe it's the Hulk. And then they're like, no. Then you could be like, no. The madder he gets, the stronger he gets, and blah blah. And then you just mishmash them. And then Wolverine versus Sabretooth, Sabretooth versus Venom, who would win? And all that stuff. We'd be like, yeah, we went crazy.
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the stuff that our generation did as kids.
Yeah.
We had cards of everything. Hockey cards, baseball cards, Marvel cards, Looney Tunes cards. And then you just said, like, who would do this in a fight and who would do whatever. Like, didn't you guys have one we talked about a few times, Leonardo? Who would beat Leonardo in a fight?
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
That's the dumb shit we do as kids.
I know. On the road trips to Vancouver.
Yeah, the road trips to Vancouver.
Yeah.
That's just the crappy shit you do.
The crappy shit you do.
Speaking about the crappy shit that you do, we talked about last time things that you've kind of recognized, like in yourself, not you in general, but anybody. Like, what do you recognize in yourself? It's like this or that or the vanity.
Oh yeah.
Levels of vanity.
I think we talked about this just before I left. Yeah.
I think just before you left, talk about like levels of vanity. Like, what are things that you recognize in yourself that you would get rid of if you could, or times when you called yourself out for being something that you didn't want to be.
Yeah.
That was like a little tail end about that kind of stuff that was swirling around in my head. We were talking about a few things yesterday. I was talking to Strangler, and so there are people out there who aren't aware, who can't do that. Now he's still working the bar.
Yeah.
So he was saying, and this was like one of those is in line that my head was in that space. So I think that's why like I'm mishmashing a few different stories here.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how they're doing early shutdowns now because the bar can't be open after 11 o'clock. So, which is good for him because he gets to be home by midnight, which is not too bad. He's got a wife and kid at home.
Yep.
But where I was like, so what's it been like since the pandemic and going to work? He's like, number one, first thing, they walk up to the front door not wearing a mask. I'm probably going to have a problem with this guy. Like right away.
Yeah.
So it reminded me of the Ed Hardy shirts. And it's the same thing. Like when we would work the front door, or even inside, if a bunch of guys showed up wearing Ed Hardy shirts, those bedazzled, stupid, like, and
greasy hair.
Sailor Jerry bullshit, and greasy hair and all that. If they came in looking like that,
gold
you
watches.
knew, gold watch, gold chains, pencil thin mustaches. If they looked like Bobby Bottle Service,
yeah, there you go, yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, Nick Kroll's got a character on the Kroll Show called Bobby Bottle Service. If they look like Bobby Bottle Service, you will have a problem with them, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Just a side note, it's like I don't know what it is. I think gold looks
gaudy, cheesy, stupid, greasy,
cheesy. Like
cheesy.
Even if I had like the, let's say if I had to spend like I don't know like I don't know, like $2,000 on a watch, and, and if I had a chance to get a gold one, like I don't know, like a gold watch that was really nice, like a Rolex or whatever it is,
whatever,
or a Sabe or whatever it is, or I get like just a regular black one with just a silver
understated.
face. Understated, but because like I would never ever wear a gold watch. I don't care how nice it is or how much money I have or like whatever. I would never in my life buy anything. I would never wear gold.
I think you're right. It's a cheesy look.
For me, it is anyway.
I think you're right. I think you're right. It's a cheesy look. No, you're absolutely right. I agree with you 100%.
That's just me though.
It is just you.
I don't want to insult anybody who wears it.
Oh, well, I think you people look stupid. I think you people walking around with your gold chains. Like, what does it do? What does it do to wear a gold chain? Honest to God.
Well, I can see the value of owning gold.
Yeah.
That's one thing, right? But like if you're
like a brick.
Yeah.
Like a large amount of gold.
Then you could exchange it for money, obviously, right? Because it retains its value.
Exactly.
But if you are wearing gold.
Yeah, a gold chain.
A gold chain or something like that. Yeah, I don't care if your grandmother gave it to you. That's fine. I have tons of gold chains that my grandmother gave.
Yeah.
They're in the bank. But but if you're wearing I don't know what it is, but if you're wearing gold, I don't know, man. It's just like I've just seen too many people who I think are totally cheesy wear them.
As it's a status thing. I don't know what it is.
Sure,
I'm in line with it. I honest to God, I see people wearing adult males wearing a gold chain.
Yeah.
That doesn't have like a sentimental value, or because like there's some sort of expense to it, multiple gold chains or gold wristbands, gold watches as like a status thing. Like if first thing I judge you right away. I'm like, look at this douchebag. Number two, you can tell me that my grandmother gave it to me. I'm like, well, do you have a safety deposit box? Because you look like a douchebag. I don't know. I don't like it. I think it looks cheesy. I think you're right. I think it looks cheesy. I think it looks silly. I think it looks like it's vain. But again, it's the vanity thing.
Yeah,
it comes back to the vanity idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ed Hardy shirts and gold chains and
greasy hair.
I feel like I was your inner monologue for the last 40 seconds. I think I was your inner monologue right there because you backed off and you're like, just sing it, sister.
You took it to.
I took it to where you wanted to take it, but you're being too polite to take it.
Well, no, I just think it's because I can only speak from my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
But I just think whenever I see it on someone, and because when people are wearing it, like a lot of people who do wear it, they don't wear it like how I'm wearing my watch right now. They wear it like this.
They wear it out.
Yeah, they wear it out, right? Yeah. So then, it's like you're drawing attention to it.
Of course you are,
man. So I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me at all.
Yeah, if someone got it for me, I'd be like,
thank you,
and it's going. I'm probably gonna get rid of it.
I got one as a gift once for a birthday, and it's heavy. It's like the kind of thing you wrap around your knuckles and just start a lawnmower on somebody with.
Yeah,
I can't wear it. It's thank you, but what did you think? That you giving me this item, knowing who I am, t-shirts and jeans guy. No designer clothing whatsoever. My shoes I got 10-year-old Adidas I still wear at my daily drivers.
Yeah,
come on, man, I'm not gonna wear that.
But plowing ahead, like you were saying.
But that was all in line with it. I think it kind of went to where I was gonna go in a polite way and let me kind of rant off in a rant about vanity. I don't understand vanity. I have a hard time getting it. I don't get it. I don't understand why people have to have this idea of themselves that they build up this facade, this wall, and it's not a strong wall.
I think because I think I think vanity is a point where you go past healthy ego.
Yes.
Or
I think that might be textbook definition, pal.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's I'm saying it in practice because you can it's good that if you have a healthy ego where you're not where you're confident and you're not but you don't you don't think that you're better than anybody else, right?
Yes.
But if your vanity is about I have to look a certain way all the time and I have to make sure that I'm this and this and this, that's not healthy because it can be unsustainable at some point. Because I have to admit I was like that a while ago.
Oh, we talked about that.
Yeah.
But,
so I got out of it.
You got out of it,
yeah.
And this is not to shit on you or defend you because you're my friend. I think you were teetering.
Oh, crap away, man. I don't care.
Yeah, you were teetering on it being unhealthy for you, but the things that you were vain about weren't outwardly noticeable. I mean, if you like nice creams and you shave and you like all your razor blades and stuff, you have a cabinet at home. I don't know you're doing that.
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't doing it. Like that's the thing. I wasn't.
That
doing
was
it
a vice of yours.
Yeah, I wasn't doing it to impress anybody.
Yeah.
It was just because I just thought, I just like the way it made me look. But I wasn't trying to impress anybody.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
I don't think you were, because you were like pretty for me, from my perspective of it, from what I would do compared to what you would do. Like I'm an Ivory soap and like Johnson and Johnson's daily cream kind of a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my healthcare, that's my skincare maintenance.
Yeah.
But then like there are people out there who go deep with like the oils and the cream and the bombs. Like they only use cold water, no hot water. Like, don't dry out, don't be ashy. Like all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, it can be taken too far.
It can be taken too far.
Yeah.
You were teetering on that edge.
I was teetering on that edge, yeah, where I'd be like, this they don't sell this in Canada anymore. Like, what am I gonna do?
Pomegranate elixirs.
Yeah.
Whatever shall I do?
Yeah, H2O plus you don't sell in Canada anymore.
You don't sell this cow. What the F?
Then I have to call someone in the United States to ship it to me, and I'm like,
Right?
at that point, I was like, you know what, just simplify it.
Stop it. Simplify it.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is like it wasn't like you were doing this thing where you would tell people that what you use and what they use is shit, and you ask them what they use. You know, to me, that's the same as wearing like a shirt that says Versace in the gaudiest way possible across the front.
Yeah, it's like it would.
That's a T-shirt, stupid.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Like, I could. At some point where I would go to someone and I could see their skin and I'd be like, oh man, I wish I could tell them like you just use this scrub and use this brush or whatever like that, right? But then I'm like, then I just like I catch myself thinking that and I'll be like, whoa, I'm like, that's no,
Don't be a dick.
don't be that person. And then but then I was like, you know, if that ever happens, like if someone says something about you or whatever, they ask you for that kind of advice. That stupid advice, but like if they ask you about that anyway, then talk about it. I'll be like, hey, well, this is what I use, or this is how I do it, or whatever, right? So I caught myself like just bombarding myself with just too many products and too many and the practice of like, okay, at this I have to make sure my skin's clean at this point time of day and. Get wipes during the day, so like, you know, if my skin gets wet, I can just like I stopped. I was like, just
It's too much.
it's too much. Like
It's too much.
It's like
It can consume you.
it could, yeah, and then like because then I caught myself like, when is enough?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can only use so many things, and like then like if they like, okay, I have to get this thing now, but if I get this, that means I have to use it all the time, and that means I have to buy it all the time, and that just like it just creates more mess and all that stuff. I was like, nah, just keep it simple.
Yeah, because
keep it so simple, you'll
man.
get the same effect that you're looking for.
For sure. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. I was like that. I'll tell you where I was like that. And it wasn't the kind of thing where I judge people on it. But when I was really illustrating a lot, I saw you put that down, which reminded me of what I was like that with these things, pens.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would buy so many that did the exact same thing. But in my head, they all did something different.
Yeah.
But they don't. I mean, they don't. I would see somebody use a pen on Instagram or online or doing a tutorial or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I'd just go nuts. Be like, I gotta get that. I gotta get that one. Where am I gonna get it from? It's got the right tip. It's got the right like width, like line width to it. It's got the right amount of give on the brush. I'm like, holy shit, this is the best pen ever. I would use it a little bit and then forget about it because another pen would show up.
Yeah.
I was really bad at pens.
Yeah. No, but
That sounds silly, but like
but
anybody who draws or is an illustrator or an artist will get my pain.
But you also like when you see a really nice pen like a 0.5 millimeter from Japan or something like that, you'll be like, I gotta have one of those again. Like I have to have extra ones because they're just beautifully made pens.
They're really nicely made.
Yeah.
I used to like drive across town back in the day to get the old Kohinoors, the Kohinoor like fine tip,
Yep.
the 0.5, and I would get like the 2H lead. I have it all. I had to have it look a certain way, and I would like tape the edge just the right. Like it was getting obsessively weird.
There's that store on 106th Street and 105th Avenue
on the corner.
Yeah, I remember I was parking by there once, and then I was walking out, then Waleed Kid walked out of it.
Oh, of course he did. Yeah, I bet you he's listening to what I'm talking about, and he's thinking the same thing.
Oh yeah,
I like pens.
Like pens.
pens.
Actually, there's a video I have to show you. I want to see if you can draw it for me.
Ah, sure.
It's how to make a 3D image come alive on a piece of paper.
Oh yeah.
Like how to make it like looks like it's rising out of the paper.
Yeah, using a shadow on the one side and drawing it at an angle.
next
where you're looking at an
next
angle.
podcast. Can you? I want to see if you can render that for me.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll do it. I probably won't, but yeah, I could probably do. I mean, it's not difficult to do.
I would just like to have it because I'd like to see it live.
Yeah, they're not incredibly hard to do. I used to do that kind of stuff a lot.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, no, shoot it over. I'll probably have it say like bookmark somewhere.
Not even gonna do it.
I'll probably just I probably have that link that you're gonna send me bookmark somewhere with the intent to have done it. I ended up doing something else for somebody else, and I just didn't.
Yeah, someone you
I'm
don't
bad
even
for
care
that.
about.
Somebody I don't even care about. Don't you have a Silver Surfer somewhere?
Yeah,
Yeah. Who drew that?
good. I framed it.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah. See, I care.
it's on my desk.
I have emotions. My emotions. You ever
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
that? Donald Glover. My emotions.
It's in a black frame on my
It's
desk.
in a black frame on your desky desk there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey. So I wanted to. I don't know if you did, but we talked about last episode how this episode we're gonna talk about urban legends and shit.
Okay.
Did you get any? You said you're gonna do some research. I said like to look some things up and talk about it because I completely forgot myself.
No.
I wrote one thing down because I totally forgot.
Well, actually, no, I didn't. What I wanted to look at was there was actually like an article on that. It talks about how Albert Einstein actually talked about the simulation theory way back in the day.
Well, that's an urban legend type of
Yeah,
of thing.
so like I didn't get a chance to
Weird
read
shit.
it, but
But this is something you've been interested in for the last couple of years now.
yeah, it's something that I don't know. It's a very out there kind of theory, but it's an idea that doesn't have to be widely recognized or like accepted, but like it is kind of a far-fetched idea, but the idea behind it is kind of cool. Yeah, it's
That
like,
we're living within a simulation.
yeah. So like if you take if you extrapolate time, no matter how small of a percentage it is, but like the idea of it, like that this could be happening, even if we're self-aware of it,
Yeah.
and not being able to do anything about it is kind of I find that very interesting. Yeah.
I'm always like, the one thing that kind of gets to me when it comes to simulation theory is I think some people, like when you talk about it in layman's terms, people who are moderately to not to moderately interested. They always seem to think, well, like, this is what they're making us do. Like, I'm a simulation. Somebody's doing this as a simulation. My life is boring. Well, I don't think that's the point of it. I don't think that I am a sim for somebody else playing a video game.
Yeah.
I think we're living within a simulation of a reality, but within that, we have been granted free will to an extent and automation to an extent, and we can navigate through the world.
That's what I was thinking yesterday. Like, you know,
it's not that you're being controlled.
Yeah, the allocation of free will.
Yes.
And the way to think that you want to think.
Yeah.
So like how that, and then so given that ability, whether that you're being run on the simulation or not, given your sims to allow them to, give them free will to do whatever they want. So whoever's running the simulation to allow that.
Yeah.
I think it makes for interesting conversation rather than just like saying like, I don't believe in that.
Yeah, I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like when somebody right away is like, nah, it's BS.
Yeah.
Like, well, God's BS. No.
Yeah.
God is real. God is good. God is great. I'm like,
or not believing in anything.
or anything, right?
Yes, but it's a cool. I think it's a cool concept to like discuss and be like, even if you don't believe in it.
Yeah.
Like let's say you can say to someone like, okay, well, let's say if it was true, like, what would your interpretation of it be?
Of why or
Let's say if I said, like, okay, take your beliefs, like whatever you believe of it. Like, let's say you don't believe in it. That's fine, right? But let's say you were a believer, okay?
Okay.
What would your idea of it be? Like, you know, if this was a simulation, like, put yourself in the head of like the Matrix, for example, or whatever it is, right? Like, what would you if you had to formulate a simulation, like what would you think of it would be?
Oh,
And like not you
I know, but
yeah.
even that question being posed to a non-believer who is like an adamant non-believer,
Yeah.
You're always gonna get such a bad response.
Like, come to the
back.
desk and let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I think the problem with that is that you can only talk about that with people who think about it the way you do. I don't think you can talk about
it. Yeah, it'd be very hard.
It's very hard because
you have to coax them and be like, come on,
Yeah.
like just okay, well, think about this. And
And I'll say it in the most brutal way too. I think they have a severe severe lack of imagination.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, they have like a grotesque lack of imagination. Like that, they're drones.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I would say, like, so if you have that moment where you talk to them about it and say, just give me 5 minutes, and you talk to them about it, and then they have that epiphany. They're like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, then you're dealing with somebody who can be spoken to rationally.
You
might not change your mind.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, and you not to like tell them like, you know, but I don't, you know.
Well, you're not trying to.
I'm not trying to. I'm just like, you know what? Let's like, it'd be cool to get like, what would be your idea of it be?
Did you same topic about this part of the conversation? Did you read that Inc. article about Elon Musk when he got all the COVID on the Twitter?
Yeah.
And then he talked to Michael Mina, I think the doctor there who's like an immunologist. Inc. was like, here's a masterclass in emotional intelligence.
That was such a good way to discuss it.
Yeah. No, I disagree with that masterclass in emotional intelligence. I think it's a masterclass in speaking to people.
Speaking to people, yeah.
Where he didn't downplay or demean Elon Musk. Elon Musk basically said, I had the COVID and I don't have the COVID. So what's up, people?
Yeah.
And then I guess a couple other doctors are like, you're a moron. And he was like, well, you're a moron. Get off my Twitter.
Yeah, which solves nothing.
Yeah. And then he himself, which I think shows a lot of emotional intelligence, went to an actual immunologist and said, okay, here's what I think is going on. Why don't you educate me into why I'm right or wrong? And then it turned out to be, I think it's Michael Mina, right? Am I getting it right?
I think so, yeah.
And then
dark-haired guy, right?
Yeah, like younger fellow. And then he like just calmly, very like effectively and intelligently broke down what was going on and why his tests were coming back positive and negative and why he would still be positive. And then the way he kind of like you say, he coaxed him into being like, hey, so, you know, you got a huge platform and you're a super smart guy. And now that you've educated yourself, how about you help us in educating people further when they come up with questions that don't make any sense?
Yeah.
Like, essentially, in layman's terms, that's what he said, right? And the response back from Musk was like, cool, man, we should talk more because, you know, I'm learning a lot here.
Yeah.
And it was two people having a very normal conversation about what don't I know and why don't you tell me? And then even within that, Musk was asking him questions that he obviously was being told the wrong answers to.
Yep.
So then he asked him to clarify like why those questions were getting the wrong answers out of people. And it was a really nice conversation.
And it was a conversation in a public forum. Which everyone could see. Yeah.
Everybody can see and everybody can comment. And if you look at the thread, just the two of them talking, it's an intelligent conversation between two people who are able to formulate ideas in their head without having somebody like write it down or draw them a picture on paper, right?
Yeah.
These are people who can do that. And I think most people like that you're looking for in the question for the simulation theory question they would have to be people who can do that.
Who could do that, yeah. I think it was weird because like when I was reading that thread, is that it just reminded me back because after I read it, it just kind of put a smile on my face, and I was like, because it always reminded me of how we talk about all we have is civil conversation. All we have is like it's just civil discourse is just
that's all you got, man.
And that was a brilliant example of it.
Yeah. I think a lot of it too within the article. I do believe the article was a little bit skewed against Elon Musk towards the doctor because they tried to kind of make it look like here's this idiot getting like fooled by a smart guy. I don't think that's it at all. I think the writer of the article kind of missed the point. But if you just read the thread, then you can see two intelligent people speaking to each other. Yeah, but an outside observer trying to skew people's perspective, right?
Well, yeah, that's the thing too, because like I think the idea of like sensationalizing something and look for something that's not there, just to get your name out there, make the article more like dramatize it for no reason.
Yeah, clicks, man. They all need the clicks.
Maybe the opposite of that. Hopefully, gets more true. Where like people are like they're driven towards it because. There was a good message there, and whoever wrote the article was like, "This is how this was." It was an amazing article conversation by two people who are great in their fields.
Yeah.
It was the melding of the minds, and
two thinkers
got together. Yeah, and it was a great conversation that ended with like something great, and hopefully and will lead to more great conversations between the two later.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that would have been. He would have served himself better, and he would have came off better if he did that.
The author of the article.
Of the article, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part because, like, you're absolutely right. The problem right now with a lot of articles being written are they're skewed to give you like a
clickbait,
not clickbait, like
an
emotional,
in the sense of like to like trigger something in yourself, like emotionally, like
emotionally, we need an antagonist and a protagonist.
Yes.
And then somebody who reads that article or is a fan of that
Protagonist.
magazine, protagonist.
I was just thinking about Tenet because that's his name. His name.
He's
is,
the protagonist.
He's protagonist. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we kind of, well, not we as in like you and me, but people in general are kind of they're forced into thinking that way. Like everything we're given is like that, especially now. It's my team versus your team. Good guy, bad guy. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all it
it's
is,
like
right?
the 8-hour work week, 8-hour work day.
Yeah.
It's institute. It was grandfathered in basically.
Yeah, it's an idea that doesn't make any sense. So we're being told you need a good guy and a bad guy, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Instead, the writer could have been like, hey, so this smart guy had a question, and Twitter, as Twitter does, lost their shit. So he called another smart guy, and they talked about it, and here's like the conversation. That's all they had to do. But instead, it's like Elon Musk got schooled by a scientist. Like, well, no, stupid.
No. Yeah,
a scientist asked another scientist what he didn't know, and it was informed on what he didn't know.
Yeah, because that's usually how things get done. Because if you don't know how to do something,
Yeah.
Go read a book on it, or go talk to someone who knows something more about it than you
Exactly.
do.
Don't
Knows
go
more
to
about it.
Twitter.
Yeah, don't go looking for like. Don't start bashing people on the internet or
This
whatever
is
it is.
the first time I think in in maybe ever that I could, well, in a while that I can remember, because you know how I always say, like, if somebody comments on Twitter, that guy's a moron. Like if a smart guy says something on Twitter, because they will, or a scientist, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Michael Mina, Albert Einstein, if they say something, no, he didn't really do it. I know he's dead, stupid. But if they go there and say something, all the comments that are below that are all comments from people who don't know what they're talking about. Nobody worth a damn
No.
usually responds or gives you an answer or says something on Twitter worth reading.
No, it's all personal opinion.
It's all personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's really rare. Like on Reddit too, like when you have the Ask Me Anything, that's just about the only place you're going to go to and have like a professional in their field talk about things they know and answer questions rationally.
Yeah, because the thing is too is that I'll give you an example. Like there's usually when people like want to put their opinion on like either like a Facebook thread or on a Facebook feed or like or a Twitter feed based on a subject that whatever they're discussing, whether it's immunization for COVID, whatever it is. So like I did it 2 days ago or a couple of days ago. A couple is two, but no, yeah, about 5 days ago.
A couple is too. I'm sorry.
But like there was a thread going on about immunization and COVID and stuff like that, and then there's all this. And my uncle from Vancouver, he was on that thread, and he made a comment, and I said,
was this like a group chat or was this
it was on a Facebook feed?
Okay.
And then so I just I hadn't been on Facebook in a while, and then I just went on there, and then I saw it, and I said, and it was all about getting yourself like
immunized,
immunized, and like, well, would you take the COVID vaccines and stuff like that? And I said, I just wrote down, I'm like, you're all wrong. I said, you're all wrong. I said, I said, bleach injections are key.
No, okay.
And then, so I just put that on there, and then,
it's being funny.
yeah, I was like, then my uncle responds back, and he's like, House of Trump, and then, and this lady responds back, and then she goes,
Somebody you don't know.
I don't know, I don't know who this lady was, and then she goes, do you know how dangerous that is? And she's like, she goes, that's, no, she said something like, that's unhealthy or like whatever. And I said, don't ever think that. Actually, I have it on my phone. And then I responded back to her. I was like, if you don't know that I was kidding, I'm like,
you need to learn how to read context.
Just, you took it completely out of context. And
Yeah.
even when it said Trump, like the bleach injections, there was a syringe in there. I was like,
yeah, I mean, because you're somebody who knows how to use sarcasm and read sarcasm.
yeah, I said, you're all wrong.
Yeah,
I said,
you're all wrong.
I said the key to success is bleach injections.
Oh my god.
Who in their right mind? But then again, this is the climate we're living in.
No,
so.
it's not the climate, man. I think the problem is, like I've always said, there's too many people out there who get the same stuff that we get when it comes to technology and ability to communicate.
Yeah.
And they're not bright.
No.
They're not sharp.
No, they're
They're not clever. They're not witty. They can't read sarcasm. They don't know what context is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, especially in the United States. There was because like they were doing during the recounts.
Yeah.
There's these people in, I can't remember which state it was. It was either Georgia, Pennsylvania, or Arizona. I'm not sure, but they had these Trump supporters, and they were outside of a polling station, and they're on their hands and knees and they're praying to the polling station.
Oh. That's some hillbilly
Yeah,
shit.
man.
Right
It
there,
was
man.
I'll show you afterwards, man. It is like you watch it, and it was like a long video. It was about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just going through like how, like I don't say deluded, but just how desperate these people were for overturns, and like now that you throw that new lawyer in there,
Oh yeah, because Giuliani's out.
yeah,
The new guy's in.
that new lady,
Oh, it's a lady.
what's her name? She has a guy's voice. Like when she talks, like you know, you look at her and she's like, okay, she looks like Bride Frankenstein without the hair, and then, but when she talks, it's like she's like, okay, we're gonna be going through like she's just like what?
Just smoking whiskey.
Yeah, she's like I think she's like a poll attorney, like something like elections attorney or something like that. But like I don't know her true title, but yeah, she's in charge of everything right now because Giuliani's melting, and
From the top down.
yeah, man, so it's desperation time right now.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
I think it's pretty much over now because like I think they only won one or two of those cases.
Well,
And it was because one of them was because the votes that came in.
Yeah.
Some of them were like past the due date, I guess, something like that, or like was.
Yeah, but they didn't.
But it was
alter,
only
500 or something votes.
Yeah, it was very little.
And they were in the same ratio as they were already getting in the election anyway, so
Yeah.
it didn't alter anything. The only thing that the people seem to be worried about right now with the U.S. is that if they're able to sow enough confusion, then it's going to end up going to Congress and the Senate, and if there's enough power in there, then they can kind of like they can make a case to overturn. In which case they're going to end up stealing an election, right?
Yeah.
Then the Republicans are going to be able to throw. They're going to be able to steal an election essentially, which is gross because that's like what they're yelling. But there's no like there's.
That's her, Sidney Powell.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Trump campaign cut Sidney Powell from president's legal. Oh, this just happened.
Yeah, I think she's gone too, right? Because there's some new guy in there right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the new person is, but they cut ties with Sidney Powell, a key member of his legal team, who also represents former national security advisor Michael Flynn. And so the abrupt shakeup came in a tense. It says terse. This person didn't. I guess this came out right now. It came up Sunday evening statement. Yeah, this just happened.
Or maybe the statement was terse.
Yeah, it's practicing law on her own. Sidney Powell is practicing law on her own. Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, campaign lawyer Jenna Ellis said in the statement, she is not a member of the Trump legal team. She is also not a lawyer for the president in his personal capacity. Ooh, it's getting ugly.
Yeah, it's getting weird, man. Like
that whole place is just tearing itself apart.
It's so at this point, like I'm just out. Like I've been out for a while. Like at this point, I'm just out though, because like nothing's impossible in the realm of American politics.
No,
The weirdest shit can just kind of happen.
I guess the reason I look at I see I can't look away from it because every time I go on YouTube, it's the first videos that show up in the algorithm.
Yeah.
And then if I turn on once I go on to Chrome, like it's the articles is the first thing I see.
You see, you're not
everywhere.
reading enough like wrestling news is the problem.
Yeah.
You gotta start getting on that WWE feed.
I gotta get the WWE Network, man.
You gotta
That's
you
where the
gotta
real
stop
drama.
watching the
That's
YouTube.
that's where the real news
That's
is,
the
man.
real drama. Like my YouTube feed is essentially right now it's a lot of Breath of the Wild, cameras, drones,
Yeah.
WWE, MKBHD because he does great shit all the time.
Yeah.
The Joe Rogan stuff, a lot of stand-up comedy. Like I mean, my YouTube feed looks so different than I think most of my family's YouTube feed, especially like all the psychos in the States there. You're all psychos. Republicans and
Actually, you know,
Democrats
one thing MKBHD does? He doesn't talk about drones.
Yeah, I think he did one.
Yeah,
like, I think he's
he
done
doesn't.
one video, but
Yeah.
that's a lot of like Maddie Hapuya and Peter McKinnon. They're nuts on drones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do a lot of that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I see a lot of things on there that get my creative juices going. So instead of watching a lot of American political news,
Do
which is just
do you go to the WWE for creative juices?
I love wrestling.
Yeah, just go there.
Yeah, it's always on.
How to solve a problem?
Oh,
in
dude! I
public?
mean, like the what culture stuff, like all the like I have no shame at all. I enjoy.
I don't care,
Yeah, no, but like you know how some people will be like, it's all fake. It's this.
You
Whatever.
guys,
It is.
Who gives a fuck
high
what it
level-
is? Yeah.
Whatever. It's
Yeah.
high level live action stunt work.
Yeah.
Like it's Cirque du Soleil. So the same way somebody goes and pays whatever to go see Cirque du Soleil in Vegas. Well, I'd rather pay to watch wrestling because they're gonna do more stuff that might actually get them killed, legitimately.
What was? How many times have you seen wrestling live?
Live?
Like WWE live?
Oh, not many. Probably four.
4?
4 times.
Wow.
Yeah. 4 times. That's my entire life.
That's still a lot.
Yeah, my entire life. I've seen it 4 times.
I've only seen it once.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they came here in the,
Yeah.
the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the only time I saw it. And then
Everybody went to that Raw show.
everyone did.
Yeah, it was one of the, it was like
Everyone
the
from high school, everyone from
Stone
Ainley
Cold
went.
Bret Hart.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a big deal back then.
Yeah, and then I felt bad my cousin couldn't go, so I got him a Austin 316 shirt.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
The last thing I just saw was the video about Shawn Michaels talking about him and their car, or not Shawn Michaels, Undertaker
Yeah.
was talking about the car ride they did through Memphis, I believe, when it was like snowing like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They put their car into a ditch.
Yeah.
Because, Americans don't want to drive in the snow. You just don't. They just want to do it. I love that stuff. To me, it's like I'd rather watch that than watch like things that at least I know what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
Like with that, like I understand this is a scripted entertainment program.
Yeah.
That has high action or high risk stunt work happening live in your face.
Yeah.
So it's I don't care about the storylines. I don't care about this person hates that person or that person hates Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
It
Doesn't bother me. I just want to see people take like death-defying risks. I love that stuff.
Yeah, that actually, what I should watch today? What's that Bill Hader show?
Barry?
Barry, yeah.
Yeah, Barry's incredible.
Barry's incredible, yeah.
How could you forget the name of that show?
Yeah,
your dog is named after that show.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And so yeah, I'm gonna start season 2.
Barry's pretty great. Hey, season 2 you haven't gotten into it yet.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, no, you're in for a treat, pal. Season 2 things get wild.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the last episode of season 1? So, not to drop a spoiler.
Oh man, I watched it like a week ago. No, 2 weeks ago.
But it is the cabin. In the
cabin,
woods, right?
yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure it was the cabin in the woods with the acting coach and the girlfriend. Okay, yeah. All right, good.
I think season 2. I heard season 2 is good.
Season 2 is incredible. I think season 2 has got Hank on the roof when like everything's gone bad. There's a brilliant scene. It's been on YouTube forever. It's when Hank and the shooter are on the rooftop.
Yeah.
And he's mad at Barry because Barry made him feel like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. I was watching Bill Hader's SNL it's just sketches like just where he because he can't keep a straight face.
No, he is impossible.
Yeah, then he kept getting yelled at by Lorne Michaels, and Lorne Michaels is like, you can work here as long as you want. And he's like, basically telling him, you just calm down.
Yeah, relax.
But Bill Hader's like, I can't. He goes, I can't work here anymore because basically said, he goes, because the sketches he just cracks up every single time.
No, he's got so much more to give. That guy is a really good actor in general. He's quite good.
Yeah, I was watching that. I've seen that SNL skit, The Californians.
Oh yeah,
I love that skit. Yeah, he's like, get up for Dale. It's like because they always talk about like the streets that are famous in California. Like, take a left on all these things, and they have that Californian accent.
It's one big inside joke making fun of California.
Yeah, it's gonna be this time of day. It's gonna be jammed. Are you crazy?
Have you jumped on the bandwagon that is The Crown?
No.
Okay, I couldn't care less for The Crown. No. I couldn't care less.
I was told it's a good show.
My mom's watching it. All my family members are watching it. It's trending, so it shows up on the Netflix. Yeah. I don't mind it.
My cousin said it's a good show. He likes it.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it looks, from what I've seen, it's really well done. I just have no interest in the royal family at all. I don't care.
Me neither. I can't stand them.
Yeah, I can't stand them. They can do whatever they want. I'm sure individually they're very fine people.
Yep.
On both sides. 5 people.
But yeah, I could care less. I hate the royal. I can't stand the royal family.
Yeah, I have
no interest in what their lives are like or anything.
But there was a moment I'm watching it, and you've got I think it's Philip and the Queen are sitting there, and then some dude knocks on the door, and I thought that there was some sort of like slang being said. They're actually referring to a person. Like the guy knocks on the door, and then he enters the room. He's like, Lord Mountbatten, sir, and the door shuts, and then you see the guy, the Philip there. He's like, Uncle Dickie, what's he doing here? And I thought he was saying it as if like he was saying, "Egad, what's he doing here?" As if Uncle Dickie was like a phrase I just didn't know. Like Brits when they're surprised say, "Uncle Dickie,
Uncle Dickie,
Uncle Dickie." That's a ugly shirt, but he's actually referring to his Uncle Dickie. I just thought it was. I mean, it's funny to me. I know it's not funny to anybody else, but I thought Uncle Dickie was a phrase that people said in the UK.
Uncle Dickie.
As like a gasp.
Uncle Dickie.
Uncle.
Holy Uncle Dickies.
Well, that one didn't go over well at all.
The actually, you know what I was watching last night? I was watching I watched an episode of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Man, that has not aged well.
Oh no, terribly.
Terrible.
It's not aged well at all.
And then I watched an episode of Spider-Woman. Even worse.
Well, Spider-Woman is just like moving. They're just moving the cells
Yeah,
around.
it's horrible.
Drawn pages
It's
of
like
comic book,
animation on its knees. And then there's and then I watched
animation on its knees.
Then I watched Spider-Man, the 1994 one, probably one of the best cartoons ever made. It's one of my favorites. Just because it has it uses a lot of storylines from the comics, which I liked.
That cartoon is a SpongeBob SquarePants of superhero shows.
And the only thing I didn't like is like when he's chasing Shocker and he has the symbiote costume.
Yeah.
And he's Peter Parker's voice is like a little overacting.
It's brutal.
Yeah, and then the Incredible Hulk from 1994.
That's a great cartoon.
That's a good one.
That's a great cartoon.
The Iron Man one is not that great.
Yeah, the 90s Iron Man.
Yeah,
one. Doesn't last long, right? It's like
no,
one season.
it's like one season.
Yeah.
Same with and then I watched
Silver Surfer.
I've seen that way too many times.
The Silver Surfer cartoon. It's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. But you have to be like in the mood to watch it.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah, but season 1 and 2, maybe 3 even of X-Men they're
all good.
Unbelievable. But the last season is like because they cut the budget. Like
the animation's ugly.
The Saban, I think, was the animation company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like it's almost as bad as Spider-Woman.
Yeah, it's really bad. The animation from that last...
It feels like their faces are made out of rubber. They're just stretching everywhere.
They reuse a ton of shit.
Yeah.
It's like the look of it. It's like watching old Simpsons to new Simpsons.
Yeah, it's like Hanna-Barbera when they didn't get any better.
Yeah, it's not any better.
Yeah, and then so I watched the first 3 seasons and I watched the last episode, Graduation Day.
That's all right.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
When they the Shi'ar Empire, then Empress Alandra takes Professor Xavier away because he's dying.
Yeah, he's gone now. Man, if they had gotten one more season, a lot more money, it could have been really good. One more season and like the budget from season 1.
Yeah,
or like equivalent to that.
Yeah, because that show started off like that's like it started off so good and then it just kind of went slowly down just because of the animation.
Yeah, the storytelling was all really good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, even right to the end, it was really good. It's the animation is crap. Yeah, it went the opposite way of what you saw from all the other shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
Yeah, because like Spider-Man was like I know you don't like it, but like
no. Okay. Look, I thought the storytelling in Spider-Man is generally pretty good.
Yeah,
and the look of the animation also pretty good.
What didn't you like about it?
I didn't like the music at all. There's music throughout the entire thing. There's no lag in the music. There's always like some electric guitar being played in the background.
I know. Yeah,
that's gotta stop. Man.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that's brutal.
No, that's fair. Yeah,
awful. Like even when he's walking to school, somebody's jamming, and like you got like was somebody in the background, just like plucking away the guitar. I thought that was awful. I don't like
maybe because it was made in the grunge era.
Could have been. It could have very well been, right? Somebody in the back, like Joe Perry, is playing guitar all the time.
Exactly. There's an Eddie Vedder on every corner.
every corner's got an Eddie Vedder. Not Eddie Vedder. Eddie Van Halen.
Eddie Van Halen
on every corner, right?
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all, and I didn't like how like the scenes were jarringly abrupt. Like there are these like weird cuts all like in the fights
that's
as
true.
well.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was watching some the fight scene was like they were drawn well, but at the same time as like when the action was like put together, some scenes were like
they move from like left to right, right to left.
Yeah, it's like the animation version of like quick cuts, like in the Bourne Supremacy, like
that it was shaky cam.
Shaky cam.
It was the animation.
Like shaky cam, like pure shaky cam, not like quick cuts, but shaky cam.
You can't tell what direction the action is moving in.
Yeah,
and I didn't like that at all. I didn't mind what they were trying to do with it, and it looks really good. Like the animation looks great.
Yeah,
everybody's drawn really well. Really smooth, fluid animation.
Yeah,
but I just didn't like the music, and I didn't like how there was no like directional. You can't follow any of the fights in a single direction. It's like he just moves around from spot to spot so much, and he's always quipping. Like he's always dropping quips, even when he's stuck to a wall upside down. Fighting.
You know what? That's actually a quirk of Spider-Man. Like everyone knows about them. Like he just quips, he makes quips, and
that's how he
jokes
he's a
around.
Chandler, right?
But I hate that about him.
I hate it when it's done poorly.
Yep.
I like it when it's done well.
Yeah.
Like the new kid, he's good.
Miles Morales?
No, the one in the movies. Tom Holland?
Yeah.
The way he's written and the way they write Spider-Man in that, it's really quite good. The way they tried to make him quirky and quippy in the Sam Raimi ones, garbage.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire just doesn't have the style.
Yeah, those ones could have been okay, except for number 2. Number 2 was excellent.
Incredible movie.
Yeah, but 1 and 3, like if Sam Raimi got to pick his Spider-Man, because like Sam Raimi, like he can make any movie funny, but like so you have to fit his style.
Yeah,
I think that's the problem. But like Spider-Man 2 was just made with like they're like this is a serious movie. Like, let's
There were consequences.
there were consequences.
Yeah.
So like, that's a because like Spider-Man 2, I think it's my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I really like it. I thought even the weird CG stuff, because they're like we talk about Blade 2.
It's a product of his time.
It's a product of his time, but it's really well done.
Yeah.
Like when he's was trying to ricochet himself into the through the window onto the clock tower to fight Doc Ock. Like I know that's a CG Spider-Man, but it looks like I want Spider-Man to look.
I can suspend my disbelief there.
I absolutely can.
But
I can let it go.
and the subway scene is
it's phenomenal.
it's incredible.
It's one of the you know what? Like perfect left to right storytelling.
Yeah.
Like I mean when you're watching the way the whole scene moves, at no point does he just suddenly move direction, like running the wrong way down the train or the train's being shot from a different angle.
Oh no,
It all moves. When the train moves at a different angle, well you're following it with the camera. You're following Spider-Man through the underpass or the bridge. So you kind of move with him. Yeah, it's really well done.
Yeah.
It's incredibly well done.
But plowing ahead, what do you got?
Yeah, I think we'll stay right there. The next thing I was going to talk about
Okay, thanks.
with that one that got into my head was like CG as a product of its time. Yeah, I said my YouTube feed is all messed up. Well, yesterday, I don't know why. I don't know if everybody got it or what was going on, but for some reason, I got the first scene from Meet Joe Black when he gets smoked by the two cars in the middle of the crosswalk.
Yeah.
Remarkably well done. Holy cow. Like I was surprised at something in the 90s. Like that car wreck, did they hit a real dude? Because like he was walking down the street and when he kind of stops and the one car misses him and he comes back and the car, I think it's like a van hits him and the cab nails him.
Yeah.
I could not believe how well that stood up.
Yeah, that's
Like it held up.
Yeah, that's weird because like Meet Joe Black is actually I liked it.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah, I liked it.
It does not get for some reason people hate on it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why people hate on it, but it's a very good movie.
Let's see here.
Death takes a holiday.
Yeah, what's the line?
What do you mean?
Death.
No, it's a remake of Death Takes a Holiday.
Takes a holiday. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
That's
I
like
thought those
the
lines in the
50s
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
It might be. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another good Brad Pitt movie that was underrated.
Underrated. Because usually he's overrated.
Yeah.
I think you're right though. Like Meet Joe Black is underrated.
Yeah.
Benjamin Button is overrated.
Is overrated.
That's a terrible movie.
Yeah. That's a movie that's overproduced.
Overproduced, overrated, overacted.
Yeah.
Over softened. Over CG'd.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much. Yeah, I think other than that, yeah, he's
There's nothing wrong with that guy.
He's fine. Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Brad Pitt in anything that he does. He's usually the best part of a crappy movie.
Yeah, I thought Ad Astra was okay.
I have not seen it yet.
I thought it was okay.
I have not seen it. I have not seen it because so many people told me I had to watch it. It was going to change my world.
It's good, but after you see after you see 2001, you see Interstellar. It's just like you're like.
Let me ask you a question about Ad Astra. When you were watching it, because from the trailers, but this is how I felt. But when you were watching it, did it just feel like a serious sequel to Space Cowboys?
Yeah, that's that's actually a good way to say it.
So.
Yeah,
it's like the serious sequel to Space Cowboys.
Yes, serious. That's a key word.
Yeah, it takes all the joy from Space Cowboys, the same characters, and just makes it like a dark sequel. To Space
the one I haven't seen is that what's on with Sandra Bullock?
Gravity.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
It is okay. All right. So you know how Neil deGrasse Tyson shit all over it and all that kind of crap.
Actually, Bill Burr and a bunch of guys shit all over it.
They shit all over it. I know Bill Burr thought getting rid of the most famous guy in the first scene is a real bummer.
Yeah, and it was also like a person who has those emotional problems. Those people aren't astronauts.
Yeah, they're not. They wash out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the problem though. She's a really good astronaut who suddenly has like major life problems. It's not like she was she went through the system.
She went through the system of wreck.
Yeah, she went through the system as a pro. And now this professional is in some real issues. So it isn't like she just showed up as, hey, it's my first day, and my family's a wreck, and it's divorced, and everybody's dead, and I want to kill myself. It wasn't like that at all.
Oh, okay.
She suddenly has these issues on her mind as she's preparing for a major mission in space. Right?
Yeah.
So obviously this whole thing's going on. So that for comedy's sake, yeah, it's like somebody with that many emotional problems.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Yeah, so.
But overall, it's an intense movie. It's like it's not Alien. It doesn't feel like Alien, obviously. Like it's one person in space going through an hour and a half of some real shit, like in a like dangerous shit, not an emotional problem. She's going through some real dangerous crap where it's like if you don't get your act together and you don't figure out where you are logistically around the planet right now, you will live or you will die. You can choose to die and you're going to die in space, or you can get your shit together, remember what's where in space because we can move around here the way we move around on the planet. You know where things are, like based in the proximity to where you are currently. I don't want to spoil it in a sense, right? But that's what it's about. And she nails it down. She buckles down and gets it done.
Okay, cool.
So that's what I enjoyed about it. And it's grippy. Now the ending is just stupid. The very end of the movie, when you really think about what we know, but what happens to people when they come back to Earth, you're like, dumb. That's my Dr. Manhattan blew up the world moment.
Okay, yeah.
The ending, I was like, that's Dr. Manhattan blew up the world. So that's not even spoiling it for you. You might watch it and think, no, I'm wrong. And you are right for enjoying it. But no, it should have been a space squid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock should have turned into a space squid and destroyed New York City.
Okay.
And the Russians should have said, it wasn't the Americans after all. It was space squid.
That's a good Russian accent.
It's not bad. That's what they should have
said. You sound like Sator from Tenet.
Yes, there you go. But that's what should have happened. Is the ending should have been a little bit more realistic. It should have actually ended in a different spot.
Oh, okay.
But
fair enough.
I see what they did. I mean, there's a dramatic storytelling element there as well. So Gravity's good though. I did not hate on Gravity. 3 hour and 40-minute cut of planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes. That was the intended thing, right?
That was the intended cut, and apparently it's really good. What's the name of the documentary guy? On YouTube?
I'll check my phone, but that's
it's mini docs. Like he does a whole bunch of mini documentaries.
Yeah.
But he dropped that one a couple days ago. There's a 3 hour and 40 cut of planes, trains, and automobiles.
Is that based on script or is that based on actual? They have the footage.
Apparently, the way he broke it down is the shooting script that was shot was 3 hours and 40 minutes, and it was like 140 pages.
Oh my god,
it's ridiculous. It's insane.
How much of a? But that's the thing that's. I don't think I would have liked that long cut.
Well, the dude read the script.
Yeah.
And he said if you read the script based on the way that you know these guys acted the movie, it's gold. The whole thing is gold.
Yeah, I would like to see more of those two guys, the better, right? But the thing is that the scenes are so tight.
Yeah.
And there's no fat on that movie.
No.
And the movie runs along so well. It doesn't feel like there's any wasted time in that movie.
Nothing.
So if it's more of that,
that's what it appears to be.
Yeah, but if it's more of that, that would make it, for lack of a better term, a perfect movie.
Well, imagine
imagine 3+ hours.
Yeah, almost 4 hours.
Almost 4 hours of something that's as good. If it's just held up if it was as good as the original,
the 90-minute cut.
The 90-minute cut,
which was cut to 2 hours.
Yeah,
and then from there to 90 minutes.
Yeah, so that could be the perfect movie. Almost.
And it's almost a perfect movie anyway.
Yeah.
Like when you think about planes, trains, and automobiles.
It is almost a perfect movie.
It's right up there with Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
It's right up there with Lethal Weapon 1.
Perfect movie. Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Like these are movies that you watch and there's almost even with Lethal Weapon. The tattoo scene is the only scene where I'm like, that's dumb. That's stupid. A second ago you want to put out an APB on Big Bird because his kid couldn't draw the person who blew the house up. And now you're going to take his word on you having a Special Forces tattoo. And he saw it. It was just like that. Now you're going to deal with a Special Forces guy and you're believing it? That's the only spot where I'm like, that's unbelievable. But even that I let go.
What's another perfect movie?
The Rundown.
Yeah,
Rundown is pretty close to it.
Actually, you know what another one is? Aliens.
Aliens is pretty close to it.
Terminator 2 is a perfect movie, I think.
And that's when we say perfect movie, it's a matter of storytelling.
Storytelling, yeah. I think
the way you feel after
the more you feel afterwards.
How many times you watched it?
Yeah, and so much better than what you. Then let's say if it was a sequel, how much better it was. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of movies you could say it's perfect, but where it said what could you actually what could you actually fault the movie on?
Yeah.
There's some movies are longer than usual. A lot of people say The Dark Knight's a perfect movie. I would say it's not perfect, but it's very close.
It's pretty close to it. So it's definitely rewatchable.
Yeah, Joker is not a perfect movie at all. I watched it the other day again.
Yeah.
It's just too much like Kings of Comedy.
I still haven't watched Joker.
It's too much like Kings of Comedy.
Really?
Yeah, but
Well, it feels like it from the trailers.
oh
right?
yeah, it's like whatever you think it feels like.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It looks like, and this is everybody talked about it to death, but it looks like a mashup of Taxi Driver and King's Comedy.
That's literally what it is.
It's just putting those two together.
Yeah.
And then putting this guy into it.
Yeah, and I'll always say that Heath Ledger's Joker is still, for me personally, I think is still by far the best Joker.
For what he delivers as a character, he's perfect in that character.
Yeah, because like in Joker,
But Jack Nicholson's also perfect.
Yeah, he's
As that Joker.
because that Joker is a it's
traditional.
It's a comedy Joker, right?
Yeah.
Like he's a Tim Burton Joker, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like
But he's also the Joker we knew, like
that we
the
grew up with.
Scooby-Doo
Yeah,
Joker.
yeah, exactly.
Like he's laughing.
Yeah,
he'll throw poison in your face.
exactly. Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
puts his and then he runs away like a Hanna-Barbera character.
Yeah.
But the thing is about Joker is that in like Joaquin Phoenix is to pronounce it that way.
Yoquan.
Yeah. But it's like he's Arthur Fleck in 90% of the time in the movie.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to see where he goes from here. But but Heath Ledger's Joker is just he's the Joker throughout the entire movie.
What I love the most about that Joker is that you don't need an origin story.
No.
Like I at no point
Which makes it better.
Which makes it better. I've never at all thought to myself, like, I wonder how he got here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just happy with what it is. And now there are other characters and other Jokers that I do think, like, I wonder how I got here.
Mm-hmm.
And there are origins that show up, and you see those. But when it came to that like weirdness to that guy, you're like, nah, man. Like the speculation that I hear other people talk about, like where he came from, like maybe he's like military intelligence, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Even that, I'm like, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I like your theory, but me personally, doesn't matter.
Yeah, actually, there was an article just written about with Christopher Nolan. He just posted it. I think it was like 2 days ago, about how he released the Dark Knight trilogy just in time.
What do you mean?
Because he didn't want. Like, he's like, it would have been a mistake to release it right now because because comic movies now are the engines of finance for.
I did read
studios.
that title. Yeah, I didn't read the article though.
Yeah, so like he goes, because now superhero movies are made with like. There's so much studio control over how they like.
He had a lot of freedom.
He had like he's like you could basically he had like maybe all the freedom, right, for lack of a better term anyway. And then he's like it goes I'm glad I made mine when I did because the creative freedom is there.
Yeah.
Whereas now and then Warner Brothers wasn't counting on me to save. Basically saying like now it's like you need superhero movies to save studios. Yeah, they're the engines of finance.
Yeah, that is like when you're low on funds,
make a
crap out a
movie.
superhero movie.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to make your money back.
Exactly.
You're going to make a ton of money doing it. But I mean, at the same time, it's funny he should say that since he started the whole damn thing. It's like, thanks.
Great ideas come from somewhere.
Yeah, right? It's like the whole deal about, and I'm not shitting on Nolan at all. I love the Dark Knight trilogy. But when he talked about, we need theaters. We need theaters. He gets his movies out during Corona, Tenet, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, they're not that important. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he say like something? I don't mind if people watch my movies on the thing?
Like a week or so ago.
Yeah.
It's like, after your movie came out and you got nothing else coming out, like it's fine. A phone's good enough.
Yeah.
As long as you get the message.
The weird thing is we're not going to see another Christopher Nolan movie for another 3 years.
What's coming up?
That's usually
the next one.
That's usually his.
Oh, I thought he was in production or thinking about doing a new one. I thought you guys had spoken. I thought you had discussed his future plans.
Me and Chris, as I call him.
You and C-No.
C-No. Yeah.
How you call him? Canola.
Yeah. Canola. Yeah, we're like that.
You guys are like that.
We're like this.
I call him Canola because we're tight like that.
Yeah. No, I don't know what. Yeah. So it's gonna be another 3 years until we're gonna be another 2 years
kind of his
until we
timeline.
hear anything, and then 3 years until anything's released. So.
He is responsible for that money making machine though. Like I'm not directly, but he's in the ground floor. Like he was there when it was going to be like what do you do now? It's like, well, we'll make a Batman movie. Oh, it's dark and gritty. Well, let's make all our stuff dark and gritty.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, because like would you like to see a big budget Christopher Nolan movie or something different?
I want Memento.
You want Memento?
I do because I think
you want smaller.
Yeah.
More me too.
Practical effects. I don't need to see ships going backwards.
Yeah.
Any of that stuff. I want to. You know what I want? I want a caper. Mm-hmm. I want Christopher Nolan to make a legit caper. Give me Christopher Nolan's Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like.
That's
to see.
what I like to see too. I want to see something smaller budget.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's he's probably wanting that too, because like Tenet was probably like a nightmare to like. Well, he probably loved making it, but at the same time, it's like that's a huge undertaking.
Oh, it's just, what's the word they always use? A logistical nightmare.
Logistical nightmare. Yeah.
There's so many sets, so many locations.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Yeah, and then taking those big IMAX cameras and
Oh my God.
filming things backwards and forth. Oh, it's just
I
don't know how they did it.
I just watched.
Choreographing the fight scenes when like one guy's moving forward, one guy's moving. It's just it's just crazy.
An editing nightmare.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it blows your mind. I'm a guy who does a version of what these people do. And it blows your mind.
Yeah, and I do a version of what you do.
Yeah, and you're into it. It's funny.
I do a very small version of what you do.
No, but you know what? You are where I was 10 years ago. Like, you're getting into it now. Like, you're right there. It's fast too. Like, I mean, the learning curve is quick. Mm-hmm. So in a year from now, you're going to be exactly where I'll be in a year from now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I might have started 10 years ago, but next year we'll be in the same place. Mm-hmm. So it's going to come so fast.
Yeah.
But like once you start realizing the amount of work that goes into editing all that stuff together.
Right, it's so hard. It's like I edited my first video 10 years ago, and my first movie, and it is not even just trying to figure out like where sounds go,
where to cut, so you don't get like a skip in the sound.
Yeah, exactly. And then where to add music. And then dragging and drop. It's just a goddamn nightmare.
And now you're into like things like Resolve and Final Cut.
Yeah,
not Final Cut, the Adobe Premiere.
Exactly. And then the color grading.
Oh yeah.
That's just it's so bad. And the thing is, like, I want my footage to be seen on YouTube by like a lot of people, and then maybe I'll entice them to like do what I did, to get a drone or get these nice
decent
shots.
Gear and
so like, but it was just. It's hard.
Well, that's why I like these.
But I love doing it because
it's fun, man.
It's fun.
It's fun stuff.
But you just put some headphones on, put some music on, and then just get to work.
You like to edit to do you like to edit to music? Do you like to find your music first and then cut the whole thing into that package, or do you like to have something and then let your visuals inspire what you're gonna put in there?
Well, I like I will.
No, we're talking about like your drone footage and fun stuff that you're doing. Like 3-4 minute videos.
Yeah, so what I like to do is like right now what I did is like I told you, like the first one I put up online was it's just cutting together like a bunch of like the one I showed you, just a bunch of like shots I shot, and then using Jason's music to like to put to like
to add it in there.
Yeah, to get him in there. It's kind of a collaboration kind of thing where I just I want to use his music because I think his music is excellent.
It's very good.
And so but finding out like the tone of finding out the tone of the imagery, like if it's a sunset or whatever it is, I want to use something subtle, and then so you have to finding the right tune for that. Mm-hmm. It's hard. Yeah, I find it's really hard because I listen to music like literally all the time. And finding the right tune for something and capturing the moment musically is like it's hard.
See, I'm the opposite way of what you do. Like for me, the way I cut out that the stress of finding the right music is I'll add the music first, and then I'll edit to that. That like the small things like that, sizzle reel stuff. Right?
Yeah.
If I'm doing like larger work like a wedding or whatnot, then I'll try to find things that work within the scene. And then I'll play. Usually it's long, like it's not just like 3 or 4 minute videos.
Yeah.
So I'll find all the music I think will fit like this stuff. And usually I have a well that I go to over and over again, and these people won't see other stuff I've worked on. But if I know that I'm going to be working on a video that's a friend or a family member of another wedding that I've done or some other project I'm working on, then I've got to find all new music, right? I can't just recycle shit.
Yeah.
But usually, I'll just find whatever works in my head that gets me excited about the images that I've been thinking about all day. Usually while I'm shooting, I'll already be thinking of music in that that will work in the space.
I think that's probably the way I should approach it as well.
It works. It's not for everybody, but like then I'll just throw the clips in, and I've already got my music, which will then restrict me to a timeline as well.
That's true, yeah.
Because if I've got a bunch of stuff I like to look at,
yeah, you're right. Doing it my way is like it's like you're just like, okay, this song is ending at this point. Like, it's gonna fade out. I'm like, okay, now I have to drag and drop footage in there. Like, how long is that one shot? Okay, that's 1 minute. Okay, this song is 2 minutes. This rest of the song is 2 minutes and 34 seconds long. I'm like, I have to drag it all the way in right now.
Yeah.
Resolve does have that point where it says it'll do that for you, but sometimes you don't want a scene to drag on for too long.
Yep.
Yeah. So then you have to so whether it's a picture, you just put the picture in there so it just lasts until the last 20 seconds or something like that. Yeah. So then you have to it's kind of you're cutting and pasting just to make sure it fits.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's I'm learning the hard way.
Yeah, no, you'll get there. I mean, what you're doing right now, like when you look back, like I said, in a year from now to what you're doing now, you're gonna be like, oh my god, what was I doing?
Oh yeah, and that's in my head too. I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? A year from now, I'm gonna be like, why did I worry about that?
It's all about, you know what it is though. Like I wouldn't even change what you're doing. Like I wouldn't. I'm not even gonna attempt to give you any kind of advice how to simplify your workflow, because
that's why I came here.
Oh, exactly.
That's the only reason why I come here.
Well, you're out of luck, pal.
Well,
you chump.
10 of this relationship.
Finished.
Yeah.
Cut. Print.
Yeah. This is the last day of the podcast.
Last episode ever. Last episode of the podcast ever.
Ever.
For today. But what it does though is it creates your style, like the way you're working. No matter how you kind of struggle through to do it, eventually you'll either go to YouTube or I'll tell you what I'm doing, and then you're gonna little by little, whittle away. God, people have been using that word a lot lately. You'll chisel away at the stone that is your style. Before you realize it, you'll have a pebble. It's going to be smooth. It's going to be shiny. It's going to fit in your hand. And that's how you know you're in the real world. Huh?
Do that one more time.
Like this thing here?
No, you put your finger in there.
This one there?
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Now I'm...
right there.
Yeah.
You see that, YouTube? You see what I'm doing? Right there. That's your style. And that pebble.
Yeah, now I want to do it.
Now you want to do it. Now I'm all over it. Yeah. When I was talking earlier about cameras and stuff, I watched the Haiti version, or the Haiti episode of No Reservations yesterday. Oh my god, that's a rough episode. Anthony Bourdain and No Reservations.
Yeah.
It's he's always got real depth to wherever he goes. It's not just about food. But the Haiti episode, I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it.
It's fairly old.
I don't remember because it was a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm kind of going through them all now. We've got a channel now because I've got Plex. On Plex, you get a bunch of free shit. It's just one channel that just shows just Gordon Ramsay and Anthony Bourdain. It's just I think it's called Journey or Food Journey.
I'll watch Anthony Bourdain. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. Actually, the Gordon Ramsay stuff was cool too. He was in a competition in India trying to find the way.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
It's quite good. It was the Great Escapes.
Yeah, then he went to the street market to cook food for cook breakfast for everybody.
Yeah,
I saw.
Yeah, it's a really good episode. And he does not make it the way they like it, or the way they would make it, but he makes it the way they like it.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. But the Haiti one is rough, man. He did a great episode, and then he did a great breakdown afterwards when he talked about what happened, because they end up trying to buy food for all the kids in a market where this lady's making all this food. He buys a ton of food for it, and he ends up making a small riot breakout. And little kids are getting hit with sticks by bigger kids. And then, you got these people out there who are trying to keep the peace, and they're roughing up the bigger kids. And it just becomes this huge issue. So where he's eating food and trying to talk to a guy about how he's going to do his dish or make food or whatever, he ends up trying to do a nice thing, or he tries to do a nice thing, ends up causing a problem. So then he did a breakdown on ABC News or something where he talked about that. And it's very much... when I watched the way he talked about how they go into new countries and the gear they use and the cameras they've got and no sound equipment... It's man, it's so similar to what we do when we go places and shoot, because we're trying so hard not to have a fancy camera.
Yeah,
it's why I'm a small camera shooter.
Yeah,
I mean, I would never take not that I can afford it right now anyway.
You wouldn't take a red camera.
Yeah, like an RE Alexa or a Red or something like a box.
Yeah,
with a lighting kit and a boom mic. We'd never do that anyway. Because they're expensive. But at the same time, I wouldn't do it anyway because it would seem like a shitty thing to do when you go to a place that's full of people who can barely afford a phone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it would be a crappy thing to do. And I was really impressed by hearing him talk about that's why they don't like the bigger stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And the ninja way they shoot, where he's usually our guys are shooting from the chest up, looking down their flip screen to make sure they're getting the right shot, or whatever screen they have attached, their ninja on top, to get the shot, rather than hold this gigantic camera on their shoulder, because it's just so much more daunting when you walk up. And then when you hear that, and then you go back to the beginning of the episode and they talk about how people in Haiti, they've been getting their photos taken after the earthquakes and stuff. And there was this idea in their head that we're going to have these Westerners, these foreigners, these news people come here and tell our stories. And then nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
All these people came down to tell your story. And it's, Monday in January was not the same as Friday in December.
Yeah.
It was exactly the same.
Yeah.
You came here and you took all the photos you wanted. We smiled for you people. We expected to get something. Are you going to come and help us? You're rich Western like video makers, videographers, filmmakers, storytellers, whatever you are. And my life still sucks.
Yep.
So I was like, man, that whole like the awareness of a filmmaker to go in there and shoot like that, it's wild. Like there's so much that goes on, like so many layers. There's layers to this shit.
Yeah. Because I remember when I watched his the one where he went to Spain. Yeah, like those places. Yeah, we used that for reference when we went.
When you went? Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
those are good episodes.
Yeah, because when we went to the Catalunya district, we're like, he went there, so yeah, we should go here and go eat this place, go eat at this place. Yeah. Then we went to I think that kind of his kind of show should never try to be emulated.
I don't think anybody could do it.
Yeah, because I think when people try to do it now, because it's such a thing that is attached to his name. I think when people try to do it, they'll be like, okay, this person's just trying to do whatever.
I don't think there's anybody out there who could.
Nobody could.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Gordon Ramsay is like, I think he tried kind of, but he did it in his own way, which is not bad, but like.
Well, he had that The Great Escapes before Bourdain died, like decades before Bourdain died, right? But it was nothing like No Reservation. Like he wasn't doing anything that was like in the similar kind of there's a sincerity to Bourdain and like an earnestness to when he kind of goes to places and learns about people and plays horseshoes in the street, or he listens to a street singer in Portugal, makes food the way a friend of a friend is making it, and wherever he goes to, like there's a different mentality there.
Yeah, I think it's more like, for lack of a better term, it's more holistic.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you mean.
Yeah, because he wasn't like a
he
wasn't like a really I think he's like his kitchen, like he worked in the dirt.
Yeah,
was never like high Michelin. He just wanted to go travel the world and just try food.
Yeah.
More rock and roll than classical music.
Yeah, no, and turns out it became classical music.
Yeah,
like he was like a rock star.
At the end, it's an opera.
Yeah, it's an opera, right? Yeah. Whereas like Ramsay and the I don't know who else is really doing it at all right now. Well, obviously right now, but even the food shows you watch.
Even the food shows you watch, it's more like the food trucks and like going to different countries, but it's not like that's something you would want to subscribe to. You just catch it on Netflix.
Yeah, no, there's a zen to Bourdain.
Yeah.
And there's just nobody has that anymore.
Yeah.
They're just showing you like, hey, this is food. We're gonna eat that thing. We're gonna giggle about it and it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's good, but like what do you're not really filling my soul.
I know, exactly. And yeah, and it's all shot in 4K. It doesn't feel like it's kind of cool to see, but at the same time it's like it doesn't like it's not like something I'd follow for very long. Like
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
There's no like grit to the film.
None.
Like I was watching there's a moment in Great Escapes.
No one's getting wasted while they're eating and stuff like that.
Nobody's getting trashed or liquored up while they're having a meal.
Yeah.
It's very sanitary.
Yeah.
In Great Escapes, Ramsay's on a boat. Mm-hmm. And they're going from point A to point B, and he's talking about the things he's seeing, and it looked like Apocalypse Now. Mm-hmm. Like the sun's kind of setting behind him.
Yeah.
There's all these faces of these like Burmese Indian looking people, because they're in way north, like Nagaland.
Yeah.
So the people don't even look brown, and they don't look Indian, and they don't look Asian. Mm-hmm. So you look at him like, where is he? Mm-hmm. If you didn't know, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And it felt like he's going on the boat so he can get in the water and go meet Kurtz. Like it was weird, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't look 4K or clean. It was very like gritty.
Yeah.
I just like I miss that look in film. I miss that look in my shows.
Grain is always good, man.
Grain is good.
Yeah, that's why I like watching old movies in new format. That's why I only buy like if I have to buy movies, I only get like movies that are old and they're remastered because the grain looks good. I like it because the older movies are shot like on film. Mm-hmm. There's just more detail, way more detail.
There's like a tangibility to them.
There is.
Like when you look at them, you're like this looks like something you could like rub your hand against a wall while you're walking.
Yeah.
And you're gonna feel all the differences and all the different bricks in the wall.
Yeah, it's like rather than looking at a map.
Yeah.
It's like touching a globe. It's like because you can
topographical map.
Yeah, topographical because you can feel. You can feel the background.
Like you're caressing an avocado.
Yeah, and like all those those movies from the 70s are all shot in widescreen. You can see so much.
70 millimeter.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
the movies that are shot in the 70s.
It's shot in the 70s.
Yeah, I love watching old movies.
There's like remember like back in the day when you'd watch Hawaii 5-0 or Magnum PI on like a 4x3, like those older TV shows.
Yep.
You always felt like you were getting so much more in the frame, and now when they show them boxed into like 16:9, they feel like 16:9.
Oh yeah.
You know, because there's so much there, they're able to actually like cut it into like a film, like a film ratio.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're watching it in the proper format.
Yeah.
But you could like add a top and a bottom of the screen, and there's so much more there.
There's so much more there. Yeah.
It's like because they really knew how to work in the space they had.
That's true. Yeah. It's yeah.
So even in the 70s when they had like, you know, the different format, like obviously they were using like 16:9 or 2:3, whatever it was, right? Whatever ratio they were using, and they were telling you so much more in the frame than what you get sometimes now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah. I don't know. They're just yeah. They're just more. Yeah. You can look at the background because like now everything is focused on the person, whereas like when you watch those older movies, you can see the background is detailed. They're so well shot. And,
Well, that's why we're so in love with the way Nolan and like Sam Mendes and these guys make movies. They're making movies in a very traditional way.
That's true. Yeah.
Like even like when they get like Wally Feister, these guys making their movie or shooting their movies for him, they're shooting them in a very traditional way.
Yeah. Like even if you look at even the last couple of Bond movies, like they're just shot like they look so great. Like just they're shot with Sony lenses.
Yeah.
First of all.
And the scope of them.
The scope of them is crazy.
Yeah.
So, like I know those you can't compare those movies to like lower budget movies. So but like yeah, those movies are made like
You kind of can though. Like you can get around it and try, and then somebody can look at you and be like, I see what you're trying to do there.
yeah.
You know?
But like those Bond movies, like they just look amazing. Like, they're so nice to look at. Like even it's like it's like looking at a brand new like BMW. You don't want to buy one, but they're nice to look at.
They're nice to look at.
Yeah, like you don't want to own a BMW. You just want to like they're good to lease, but you never want to own one.
The repairs would kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see what we got here.
That's news to anybody who wants to buy like a luxury vehicle. Don't ever buy them. Lease them. Because
If it flies, floats, or drives, you lease.
you lease, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
live in it.
In
you
3
buy it.
in 3 years, they're going to choose a new model, and you're going to be stuck with that old one.
It's like your phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, I mean, these days everybody just goes to the place they get their phone.
Yeah.
The mobility store.
Mobility store.
They just add the $30 on top of their bill,
Yep.
and they get
Indeed.
themselves a phone, a nice cellular device.
Indeed.
They get themselves a thing there.
What do you got next?
I had.
It's like a job interview.
Yeah, it was a good job.
You look at your resume. I'm like, what do you got? What else you got?
What else you got there? I kind of think we hit almost everything. I was going to talk about Marvel 616 a little bit.
I saw that. What is that?
So it's just like a documentary series about like, the history of Marvel.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Marvel 616.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's on there. They're that's like their designation for the base Marvel universe.
Yeah, that's right.
I know. What's his name? Kurt Busiek hates it. Kurt Busiek doesn't like the fact that it's 616 because that means that it was essentially lives in the same world as the DC universe. So he's like, no, we're Marvel 1. We're Earth 1.
Okay, quick. Hyperion versus Superman. Who'd win?
Superman. Hyperion is fake.
Yeah.
Hyperion is fake Superman. I think real Superman would find a way to, like, do the thing he did to Manchester Black and lobotomize him. Like closing one eye for a split second, shooting heat vision to his brain, and stopping him from having his superpowers.
Oh, you know what I read? I read House of X. All of it.
Jeez, what'd I do there? You read all of House of X?
Yeah.
And?
That
feel?
storyline is incredible.
House of X is pretty wild.
It's unbelievable. It's so well written.
Yeah.
Especially issue 4.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Do you want to delve into spoiler territory here and go deep? Like, because I don't think many of the people who listen really read comics.
Okay, well, I don't know. First, the X-Men get obliterated.
Yeah, it's not good for them.
And Wolverines and Nightcrawlers, their final moments were just like they were so heartfelt. They were so sad, and because Wolverine had to deal the killer blow to get to the head of Master Mold, and then Wolverine's it's Wolverine's job to cut the final basically the final thing that Master Mold's attached to in this huge frame that's powering him. And so before Master Mold goes online, Wolverine has to
essentially kill him. Yeah.
And so him and Nightcrawler has to
get him in there.
Teleport him there. And then before Wolverine does it, he says, "I wonder what's waiting for me on the other side."
Yeah.
And then Nightcrawler's like, "What are you talking about?" Basically says, he goes, "Is there a place what happens? What happens to a guy like me?
Yeah, you mean figuratively, or do you mean like literally when I get you in there?
Yeah, he's like, so what happens to someone like me when I
When I get mine.
when I die? Because God knows, because Wolverine's killed so many people, right? And then
Well, he comes back from a skeleton too.
yeah, and then what does he say? He goes, no matter what happens, he's like, when you get to wherever you're going, when you leave this earth, I'll be waiting for you. Wherever you go, I'll be waiting with you with open arms. I'll be waiting with you radiant with open arms.
Yeah.
And so they teleport to the last part, and then Nightcrawler just burns to death.
Oh yeah, it's too much for him.
Yeah, and then have you read it?
Well, it's there.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it's in the app right now.
Yeah, and then they show Wolverine and his flesh just being burnt right off him.
Yeah.
But he cuts away, but he ends up on Master Mold's head, and they're going towards the sun, and you could see as every panel is just going this Master Mold going further and further away, going into the sun, and you just see Wolverine, and he's just slashing away at Master Mold.
Yeah.
And dies. It's incredible how it's written. It's so well done.
There are like very few really rad, I mean like deeply loved, unbelievably rad X-Men stories.
Yeah, that's one.
This is one of them.
Yeah, it's incredible, and basically Charles Xavier turns into Magneto.
It's pretty bad.
I love it because he goes from the guy wearing a suit and everything, and he has that muscular skin thing with the X
the Cerebro thing,
the Cerebro thing on his helmet, and then he tells everyone on planet Earth, like he says, like he talks to everybody on Earth through his mind, and he's like, we'll provide you with we have the cures for all your illnesses, cancer, everything. He goes, but there's a price to pay for that. We were going to give it to you for free, but instead, what did you guys do to us? You killed 16 million of our children. You hunted us down like we're animals, and then and no one basically saying that no one from the Avengers or any of you guys did anything to help us.
Yeah.
And so he said, we'll just have to. He goes, we're going to give this to you, but it's for a price. He goes, Krakoa is going to be our sovereign nation where all mutants are welcome. Any child born a mutant has free reign to come into here without persecution, and we make our own laws. And he's like, this is not up for debate.
He becomes pretty militant by this point.
And then
how far back did you go when you started reading House of X? Did you go all the way to Avengers Disassembled?
No, I didn't know. I read Disassembled, but that was a while ago.
Because this ends about 15 years of storytelling.
Yeah, pretty much.
House of X goes all the way back to Disassembled.
Yeah, that's right.
When Scarlet Witch does what she does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then it goes from there all the way into House of M, and then I can't remember what the next big one was after that. Was it when Vulcan shows up, and then Charles has to tell everybody like, hey, so there was another group of mutants before Giant Size X-Men.
Yeah, that's right.
1.
Yeah.
I had a whole other team.
Yeah. I don't know what happened after that, but
and then it leads into
not
AVX because that's afterwards, right?
Yeah, that's afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure what the timeline is, but
there's a lot.
There's a lot
going on because I mean all that stuff that happened.
Because it actually references like all those things. Like see this, it says like because I remember the guy who's the complex explained. He said you have to reference these things, right?
I think he even talks about like astonishing X-Men.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, he goes back like a long way.
Yeah,
and so yeah, he just so Xavier says these things. He says these are not up. This is not up to for discussion, and then so all these mutants come by, and then all of a sudden Apocalypse shows up, and then Wolverine and Magneto are ready to fight him, and then Apocalypse looks at them and he says, "I'm not here to fight anybody." He's like, "You have become what I always thought what you should be." He goes, "You knew that you're superior to everybody else.
The dominant species on the planet, man."
He said, "I'm proud of you all."
Yeah.
And then he said, "I give up." He goes like, "Yeah, I'm here to become a member of your society." And then Charles Xavier just reaches his hand out, and the comic book ends just like, "Welcome home."
Yeah, it's
incredible.
It's incredible, man.
Yeah.
It's really well done. And on top of that, it just like it after all this, it leads into this weird dynamic where like you don't even. There are conversations that Wolverine has with the X-Men where they're like, "Are you a bad guy now?
Yeah.
Like, are we supposed to be worried that you're going to turn on us? Like, what's going to happen here?" He's like, "I just do what's right, man.
Yep.
I just do what's right." Like, there's some crazy shit that goes on.
Yeah,
afterwards.
it's crazy. Yeah, because Charles Xavier keeps having the same dream, and then Maureen McTaggart lets him know. She tells him like, "Your dream is like it's not
a
true.
dream.
It's not true." Because every time you you think that this is gonna the humans and the mutants are gonna be together.
Yeah.
It always ends in war, and the
Yeah, it's
and the
always
mutants
bad.
lose every single time.
The one thing I didn't like about that is that's like he's been told that a few times. Like I know they always talk about him being the like the Martin Luther King type,
Yeah.
and Magneto is the Malcolm X.
Yeah.
What I don't like is like
Yeah. That's exactly. That's true.
yeah, he's proven a few times that he's willing to go too far.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't like how somebody always has to come back to him and be like, like you can't just live in
Yeah,
harmony.
that gets kind of tiring.
It gets a little bit tiring because
Yeah.
like all of House of M was like that. And when the No More Mutants thing, when they all kind of came back, he got militant there for a little bit because he disappears in the whole deal. He gets kind of like militant in that point. So it's a little bit too much. They keep having to bring him back to the point where it's like, hey, like
Yeah,
you
like,
can't have peace
yeah,
and harmony.
Yeah, because like, it's well, I guess it's one thing to like keep the story like to keep it going.
Yeah.
But it's like like you can't unless you like do a retcon the entire thing and then like start him off as a new character who's like.
Well, they're not doing that.
yeah,
Like
they're not
House
doing
of
it,
X
yeah.
is in continuity.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not like a what's it called, Old Man Logan type thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think yeah, it's just weird. I know. I think and then they fast forward after like he has that dream and they show him all like with the headgear on and like with Magneto. Magneto has a silver suit on now.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then they
There's a lot of costume changes.
yeah, and then they're ready. Then they're ready to go to war. And then she's like, well, then that one lady, I can't remember who it was. Was it Emma Frost? I can't remember who it was. She's like, how's this going to be different from any other time? Then Xavier goes, because we're different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they are for a few years now.
Yeah.
I think after that you've got 2 or 3 or maybe like even up to now. There's still like a lot of like antagonism. Like they're not the same characters they were.
No, yeah.
They're definitely not the nice guy 90s mutants where they're superheroes trying to save the world.
No,
they're providing a safe haven for their people.
Yeah.
By any means necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets pretty dark.
yeah, they him and Magneto are not screwing around.
No. It's cool to see them on the same page.
Yeah.
I love it when those two are together.
Yeah, and then that moment with Apocalypse, like there's more to read about that, like, especially in Powers of X. But like but yeah, it looks pretty cool when Apocalypse comes up. He's like, I'm proud of you guys. Like, this is what
Because he's the first mutant.
Yeah, and he bows to them. He goes, I'm willing to like I not surrender, but
Yeah.
he goes, I abide by your laws.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not just that, but he's the first mutant who they fought for so long.
Yeah.
And like they had so many brutal wars with Apocalypse. He's like, hey man, we're all cool now.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Until Kang shows up and he's like, no, it's all gonna go bad. Like,
Goddamn Kang.
in 3 years from now, you're gonna hate each other again.
Like, apparently he's the new Marvel baddie in the
I
MCU.
hope so.
Yep.
I like Kang. Kang as a bad guy he's layers, man. When you go back to Young Justice, or was it Young Justice, Young Avengers, and you read the way they kind of reintroduce Kang in Young Avengers, you're like, holy crap! There's a lot more going on in this guy.
Yeah, because he's a future relative of Reed Richards, right?
He is like
He's a distant.
yeah, he's like a great grandson
Yeah.
of Reed.
Yeah.
I think. I don't think it's that far either. I think it's more like a great grandson, and then he lives non-linear.
Non-linear. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So he's not even that far out. He starts time traveling really fast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and he uses that. That's his weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all time travel.
They
And
might
then
as
he's
well
gonna
use
be,
him because the time travel is everything in those last Avengers movies.
Yeah, well, maybe he's going to show up.
You can fix anything with time traveling.
Maybe he's going to come back and try to fix the timeline.
I hope he comes back and
He'll
breaks
Thanos
everything.
snap. No, I think Kang likes things
He likes the
fixed.
order. Yeah.
Like he likes order.
Yeah.
So I mean, if things
He's like
get
Doom.
out of whack,
He's like Doom. He wants order.
yeah, he wants order.
Yeah.
He doesn't want things to go crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Mephisto is apparently like a big deal now.
In MCU.
Yeah, and then right away he got put in his place.
Mm.
So that wasn't terrible. Let's see.
That wasn't too bad.
That wasn't too bad.
Not bad for this
I
stuff.
think we hit everything. I think we just went through all of it. Oh, okay. Let's end on some fun stuff.
All right.
Let's end on wacky fun crap that happens when you put stupid people in positions where they can control society.
Okay.
That's how you get people probably getting convinced that glory holes are a good idea and talking about it on the news. Where it's like, hey, Health Canada says have sex through a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Because that's not dinner time news, but it was on the news.
That was on the news?
Yeah, glory holes it was on global. It made national news. Glory holes was like,
when was this?
Yeah, it was all over the place. Glory holes was like a normal.
Like recently, or?
Yeah, like probably about a month and a half ago, maybe more than that. Let's say over the summer. Over the summer, glory holes Like if you go to like global news or read like actual news sources.
I'll look at it later.
Yeah, like I'll show you links. I've got it all saved on that thing. Glory holes was like newsworthy stuff. Have sex through a hole in the wall. Now the only reason that happens is because somebody is like, how do we make measures safer for people during coronavirus? And some guy out there who's probably like just waiting to play a prank on his stupid coworkers in government is like, well, what we should do is tell Health Canada that the safest way to have sex with somebody is not look at them. Like, he's already, like, the ball's rolling. He's not talking about, like, from behind. He's talking about how do I sneak glory holes into Health Canada? How do I make Health Canada say having sex through a hole in the wall is totally cool? So he sneaks that in, or he or she, whoever, and then Health Canada, among their guidelines of staying safe during coronavirus, talks about, hey, it's, apparently this is a way to do it. So I think it's BC. BC or Ontario is like, glory holes are cool. Try those. Mind-boggling. And then last week, or less than a couple of weeks ago, probably about a week or so ago, James Corden, you hear about the Toronto GTA sign about wearing masks on the mass transit? Mm-hmm. Have you seen the sign?
I've seen the sign, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's a dick in the ear?
Yeah.
It's a sign that's a profile of a dude, and he's wearing a mask, and he's got a nice, like a business office man haircut, and he's got a mask on, and he's in shape. But the mask leading towards the ear, the strings, make his ear and string look like a cock going into his ear. And it looks ridiculous. Mm-hmm. How does that get by if not for somebody who drew that? I'm like, I'll friggin' show them. Yeah. No, pay me scale, a-holes. I asked for $50,000. So he draws a dick in an ear. Mm-hmm. That's how that shit gets by. That's it.
Yeah.
So we have to think about that.
That's called a 72, by the way.
A 72? A dick in the ear?
Yeah.
Number 72 on the list.
69 is the reverse position. A dick in the ear is a 72.
Is it because of the shapes?
I don't know. We came up with that in high school.
Oh yeah, I thought it was like
it was our thing. We're like, because I was one of my friends. He had really big ears. I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, I want to meet a chick. I'm like, I can't wait to he wants to meet. He had a crush on this girl in high school. I'm like,
and he wanted to put his dick in her ear.
Yeah, so like, why don't you give her a 72? And he's like, why? Because he had big ears. I'm like, just put. And she had big ears as well. I'm like, just give her a 72. Like, what is that?
I don't think it's a 72. I think that's a Celta.
She's like, I can't hear anymore.
I think you're. Yeah, no, that's not a quirky number that you give somebody. That's a violent act of like ear.
I know. I think I mentioned it once, and everyone around was. I think was Neil there too? I'm not sure.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
A lot of you guys.
Yeah, because we just burst out loud. We're just like, just give him a 72.
Well, 72 or no, I think that's a marker about how, like, the people who are in power of giving us information, or like allocating information to us, they're pretty gullible.
Yeah,
all along there's pretty gullible people.
No, there's a lot of dummies out there.
There's
a lot of dummies working in government.
I like the idea that
because working in government is the slack job.
It is a slack job.
It's a slack job, yeah, because you don't have to there's very little liability.
Yeah, you're gonna get your pension.
Yeah, because you have to work in private sector.
You just you get lazy, you sit around. You're right. It's not private sector, so there are no real stakes. You might think there are, but they're not.
There's none.
Instead, you get a dick in your ear. You get a 72.
Yeah, I think you got a dick in your ear. What do you want to do?
And to close off, I saw two white ladies get into a fight in Sobeys yesterday.
What happened?
One was two Karens.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there are two middle-aged white ladies. Both wearing masks.
Yeah.
So, she couldn't yell. The one couldn't yell at the other for not wearing a mask, but she touched too many grapes. And the other lady yelled at Grape Lady, are you going to buy those? Are you going to buy all those grapes?
I respect that lady.
No, I don't like the produce touching anyway. Yeah. But it was just neat to see. At first, I thought she was yelling at me because I was the only other person in the line or in the aisle.
Yeah.
And there's almost nobody there, and I was buying bananas. So I was about to turn around and be like, fuck yes, I am. Who are you yelling at? Because it's happened a few times where somebody's kind of turned around and said something.
Yeah.
I'm
glad she said something.
She yelled at her in the Sobeys for touching too many grapes.
Good.
It was pretty funny though.
That's awesome.
It was a straight up freak out, and the one lady ignored her, which only made the yeller angrier.
More angry.
It made her angrier for not acknowledging that she was mad that she was touching too many grapes.
Fuck, I'm totally with that lady. I would have jumped in.
All
she had to do was take me in.
I watched and I internally laughed and laughed.
I love that shit.
I like watching middle-aged violence when it's not physical.
Yeah,
when it's just like physical, shaming. Yeah.
Because I've been like I've gone to that stuff at the grocery store, but like I just love watching it.
I love watching it. I don't want to be a part of it, but I do enjoy watching people lose their shit.
I've only been a part of it once, but like I love watching.
Oh, you've been a part of it more than once.
No, just once.
No.
At the grocery store, only once.
In general, in public.
In public?
You've definitely been a part of it more than once for sure.
But like in the grocery store, only once.
Yeah.
But if you were in my position, you would have done the same thing.
You mean if I was when I was in the position of you?
Yeah,
well, that's the Superstore thing that happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You would have done the same thing.
But I have done the same thing.
Yeah, but this was. But I would have been like, that's disgusting. That's like I hate because you know what that is? That's just a waste of food.
You mean touching all the grapes?
Yeah, like if you're gonna touch them, like you can look at grapes and be like, you know what? I'm gonna get these, or at least like, use a bag. If you have to inspect them, use a bag and use that to
put
pick
it
up,
over your hand.
And then like pick them up. Like, okay, you know what? These are good. I want to take these.
I'm not a food toucher or a food sampler.
Yeah, if you're gonna touch it, I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not a food toucher or a food sampler. It's not something I would do. Mm-hmm. But I'm also a food washer when it comes home. And this is not like a COVID.
Oh yeah,
thing.
for sure.
Like grapes and fruits in general.
You have to wash that shit.
You got to wash them because people do that.
Yeah.
So for me, the funny part was like, does this lady, the yelling lady, does she like to just pick the food up when she buys it and eat it? Because I know people who do that too. Mm-hmm. I know people who just buy strawberries and come home and break out the whipped cream and start eating them. I'm like, well, that's gross. Because I mean,
yeah, what is this, Wimbledon?
What is this, Wimbledon?
Jesus,
what are you watching tennis in the stands?
Exactly.
No, but
I've done that before. I've actually watched Wimbledon eating strawberries and cream.
No, but you didn't do it like you washed the strawberries before you ate them.
Oh yeah, you have to. That's disgusting.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, the lady yelling, does she not wash her fruit when she brings it? Like, why was she so mad?
But the thing is, like, if you're touching something, especially because the thing is, like, eating bananas is different because you don't eat the peel, right?
Exactly.
But if but the grapes are like whatever you touch.
Yeah.
That's the surface of something you eat.
Yeah, but you're gonna wash it. You're still gonna wash it.
Yeah, but I guess like her standards are very high. Like,
I mean, I still eat an apple, but I wash the apple first.
Yeah, but the apples are coated in wax.
But it's not like that. I mean, you're gonna wash it, but like, that wax is.
But the thing is, like,
still gonna get touched.
Grapes are like they're.
In fact, I'll go one up on you. The wax in the apple will hold more bacteria than the grapes will because there's nothing on the grape.
But
it's gonna wash all that.
But that's the thing. But that's the whole point. Is like the grape has nothing on it to protect it.
So when you wash it. But the wax is more likely to hold gunk on it.
I totally see your point.
The grape is less likely.
I totally see your point. Yeah. The fact of just touching fruit that you
that is gross, which I agree with.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, that is gross. Yeah. When you're touching random pieces, that's totally gross.
That's disgusting because you could pick the grape and eat it, right? But but it's gonna be living on that thing, and like which is something you can just pick and eat.
You're right.
Yeah,
and it is more gross in the era of COVID.
Yeah,
obviously.
Right now, it's
totally agree with that. 100% agree with that.
But I see your point. Like
But I'm just wondering why this lady is so mad. Like she was so mad.
I see your point. You know why? Because I'm like that too.
Yeah,
I was seeing your point.
To me, I'm just gonna go to the back of the grape aisle or grape display and pick the ones that haven't been touched. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take those and eat them.
Yeah, you take those ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Or I just buy ones that are bagged.
Well, these were bagged, but I think she was moving the one.
Oh, really?
Like a chunk of grapes from one bag to another bag. She wanted more grapes, so she reached into one bag. Mm-hmm. This is what it looked like to me.
Oh, okay.
And she took more grapes because she was gonna. I mean, they're sold by weight, right?
Yeah.
So she's gonna pay for them.
She's gonna pay for them.
But she just wanted more grapes. But she opened up the bags to see which ones were healthier.
That's bad.
And then how is it bad? I don't think it's bad. She wanted more. She wanted healthy grapes. She doesn't want like run down gross grapes. She wants nice plump grapes.
So then, but that means another person has to take that bag, and then so that's basically because then no one's gonna take that in a half-empty bag of like grapes and fill it with another half-empty bag or
maybe
another full bag. Yeah,
I would. If I saw a bag of grapes that looked healthy.
But you are. But the thing is, like, you don't represent the majority of the population who would do that. More people should be like that but sadly, you're in the
I'm in the minority.
Yeah.
Is it because I'm in the sensible minority?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, man.
I'll take that.
A lot of people in grocery stores will just.
I'll give you that win.
I used to work in a grocery store, man.
I will give you that win. I will take the compliment and hand you the win.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, people are very, but to your point is that people are just. Like, I understand it's COVID season right now, so like I understand like people are just like they don't want to like spread disease and like want people touching that stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like bottom line is if you took those hand touched grapes, let's say she touched some of them that she put back in the bag, right? And then let's say you came in and like you saw that 150 bag. I'm like, oh, the ones in this half bag are still good.
Are still good.
Yeah, but I'm gonna take some that are like, I'm gonna fill this bag, or
I'm gonna fill this bag.
or maybe I just want this half bag. Whatever it is, right?
it is.
Okay, so let's say that you took, realistically, if you took that home and you washed your grapes and you ate them, you'd be fine.
You're gonna be fine.
But that's not the society we live in.
No, we're in the
we're in the
crybaby, yelly, bitch about everything.
Yeah, so we're in a throwaway society basically, right? So I see your point. Like, but a lot of people are like, I don't want my grapes touched by anybody but me. So
and that's what was happening.
Yeah.
Z-Snap.
Yeah.
You really like that was a good loud one.
Yeah.
It's a skill in your snap. I just thought it was a funny story about two people getting it.
That's my Oprah line.
And the Candyman trailer. Have you seen that yet?
Yes, I did.
I am. That was part of the urban legends thing we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But I am jazzed.
Yeah.
About a sequel to Candyman, like a legitimate sequel to Candyman.
Yeah, I was gonna send it to Danny, but I think he probably got too scared.
Was he a little bit terrified of the Candyman?
No, yeah, I think he was, or
Of
sorry,
the
sorry, not Candyman. That was Dr. Giggles.
I think we said it 3 times.
Dr. Giggles.
But not of who?
Dr. Giggles.
But the other one we're talking about?
Candyman.
Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah.
Are you gonna say it again? Because like we're by reflective
Dr.
surfaces.
Giggles?
No, the other one.
Candyman?
Oh my God! I think we did it 5 times.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in so much trouble.
I have to cancel that out with Beetlejuice.
you gotta cancel out Candyman by saying Beetlejuice 5 times.
Beetlejuice,
3 times.
You two guys can.
You guys can hash it out. You both basically work for me.
Yeah.
I wished you both in existence.
Yeah.
And I want you to fight. Wasn't the mentally challenged guy from LA Law
Yeah.
played Dr. Giggles?
Yeah.
Or he was from what's it called too? Darkman.
Yeah, he's from Darkman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of that? He had a great name of that one.
I don't know. He looks like the older version of like who's that guy's son, the child molester from Spawn Part 1. Billy, for the guy who drove the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like him with
Kinda.
Was it Billy Kincaid?
Billy Kincaid.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Billy
Yeah.
Kincaid. Spawn kills him with popsicles.
Yeah, he did not die well.
Spawn killed him by jamming a bunch of popsicles in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dies bad.
Yeah.
Spawn movies.
Yeah, because I'm glad that you put that guy in a horror because he kind of looks freaky. Like he kind of looks like that. If he squished his face, he looks freaky.
The Spawn guy?
No, the guy who played Dr. Giggles
guy.
Yeah.
He's a weird looking dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Lenny on LA Law. He's a
Yeah.
weird looking guy. But he's played such a nice guy with the challenged.
Yeah, he
He was
looks,
such a sweet kid.
yeah, but you're right. You know the guy who looks like his son is Louis Litt from Suits.
I don't watch this.
Suits. He looks that guy looks like same thing. He's like squishy face, and it's like
Okay,
Yeah.
is that the guy who looks like he could be some sort of a barnyard animal? He's got gigantic front teeth.
Yeah.
Balding, kind of like shaved head.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I do know who that is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Billy Kincaid,
Yeah,
little
so-
bastard Billy.
Billy Kincaid.
Yeah.
That's it, pal. We ran through a lot of random stuff today.
Yeah, today was a nerded out episode.
It was kind of nerdy. Yeah. So I do understand that we probably lost a lot of people.
Well,
halfway through.
Don't worry, I'm gonna come with simulation notes next week.
You can or you can't.
I'm going to.
I think either way we had a pretty good show today.
Right now, I think you're trying to stop me. That's the vibe I'm getting.
I'm terrified talking about simulation theory, and I'd like you to stop because I just want to blue pill my way back into the real world, or the fake world, eating steak. Chomping away.
And I was gonna say something. People who eat their steak, well done.
Oh,
okay, you people are animals.
Was this something that happened somewhere?
Okay.
Did you eat steak with somebody that well done?
Well, I'm saying the people who eat like that's you're not eating it properly. Okay, don't be afraid of that red solution that comes out of the meat. That's not blood. Okay, so don't be afraid of that.
Medium
stuff.
rare.
Eat it mid rare. You'll love it.
You just call it mid rare.
Mid rare.
You heathen.
Actually, I should call you a heathen because medium. It's not medium rare. You don't go mid rare.
You don't go
Mid-rare.
medium rare?
No, it's
so what do you
mid-rare.
call it? Do you call it rare medium?
No, I call it mid rare.
Who calls it mid rare?
Mid rare.
Nobody calls it mid rare.
Middle rare.
Medium rare.
You don't say mid rare. You say mid rare.
But you don't say mid rare. You say medium rare.
But every time I order, I say, can I have it mid rare? And they're like, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, they're probably humoring you because you're saying it wrong. They think there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, that's why it tastes like spit.
Yeah. That's it. Music's been playing for a while.
Well, peace out.